All right, everybody, welcome out to the Logrum Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, July the 5th, 2022. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai, licking his fingers. Say hello, Mr. Beer Samurai.
Hey, everyone, and happy National Graham Cracker Day.
Happy National Graham Cracker Day.
That's what I'm eating.
There you go.
These things were not invented by Sylvester Graham, but he was the inspiration behind them.
Sylvester Graham was the inspiration behind the graham cracker.
Oh, he was.
It's a good thing they didn't call it the Sylvester cracker.
Sylvester? I don't know. It's got a ring to it, I guess.
Be odd, but anyway.
You do cheesecake with some Sylvester cracker crumb.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're right. That
it's
is
a little too much.
That's a bit much.
Yeah. Anyway.
But he was a minister. Was he a reverend? I don't know. Reverend Sylvester Graham? I don't know what it was.
Reverend Sylvester Graham. Is he related to Jimmy?
God, I don't know. Maybe, but he was all about the temperance movement.
Okay.
So there was like no wine, no women, no sex, no fun. You know.
Right. So they wrote that was the Vapors. That one was
the Vapors.
Right.
Oddly enough, that song is about masturbation, and he preached against masturbation.
There you go.
Against that.
No sex, no drugs, no wine, no women, no fun, no sin. Well, actually,
no wonder it's dark.
Yeah, actually, I think the New Jersey ABC was part of that.
They probably are. No fun.
Okay, all right.
But he was he was no meat,
no nothing,
no
just graham crackers.
Only cold bass.
Cold bass.
Yep.
And cold bass. Well, I mean, bass is pretty good. I like bass.
Bass.
Oh, bass. Oh, I thought you said cold bass. I was like,
and I like my bass cooked. You just take them right out of the you cook them right, take them out of the river and start chomping on them.
All right, there you go. All right.
No, but he
you don't slap at the bass.
That'd be a bass.
All right.
How do I pull my bass out of the closet one of these days? At any rate, but no, he and back then these things were not as tasty as they are now because now there's a touch of honey in them. Just
a little bit. So anyway.
That's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about temperance and not having any fun.
Yeah, we're talking. Today's show is going to be about that, and in an unfortunate way too. So
and that's no reflection on our guest.
Not at all. He's just going to help us talk about it and rant about it. So let's bring our guest on right now. Welcome to the show, please, Mr. Albert Gattullo.
Hey guys,
there he is. Hey Al,
how are you?
Great to see you again.
Cheers.
Cheers. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm drinking out of the boob glass tonight because there are a lot of boobs in New Jersey.
I thought because you were drinking with some boobs.
There you go.
Well, that too. So cheers.
Cheers.
I'm drinking out of my New Jersey glass. So between that, we got the Jersey boobs.
I like that. And I'm drinking a Building Sandcastles.
Very nice. Very tasty beer. I know that beer.
But it's a little crazy what the ABC decided to do. Coincidentally, right before the end of the legislative session, Governor Murphy is jetting off to Italy. Mm-hmm. They basically dropped this on the brewers' lap and said, good luck. We're going to start enforcing this. It's absolutely ridiculous what they've done. Savage, even.
Stupid.
If you really want to put it that way.
Insane. Ridiculously.
Yeah. So why don't we cover what they did?
Well, there were rules that the NJABC and put together a couple of years ago. The brewers screamed about it. They stopped it. They said, we're going to change the rules. They added more rules and then basically said, no, this is what we're going to do. And they were going to go ahead and do it. The pandemic hits. But what I didn't know and what I actually found out, I thought they had suspended all of those rules. They didn't.
That's what I had thought too.
Yeah, but apparently not. Apparently the rules were in effect. They just weren't enforcing them because obviously they couldn't get people to go out to the breweries to, investigate, et cetera, et cetera. So this bombshell that they dropped last week was basically like, nope, the rules are in effect. Now we're going to start enforcing them. And if you don't abide by them, guess what? You're going to get fined. You're going to lose money. And essentially New Jersey is going to be taking away a tax revenue of which the Brewers have done very well the last couple of years in putting money into the state.
It was one of the fastest, if not the fastest, growing business segment in the state.
Right. That's correct. Yeah. That's correct. And
so,
let's just give one example. So in 2020, Governor Murphy makes this announcement as he's trying to get more people to get vaccine shots. He says, "Hey, get a shot, get a free beer from your local New Jersey brewery. Just show proof that you've gotten your shot, and XYZ brewery will give you a beer on them. The first beer will be on them." Well, according to the NJABC rules, every single free beer that the Brewers gave out, it was illegal.
Yes.
And it's not like the state picked up the tab and said, "We'll pay you for those free beers that you gave out." I can guarantee you, if you ask any brewer, they didn't get a dime from the state.
No, not at all.
So, well, it's hypocrisy that the governor would do something like this and not even know his own rules. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I've never known the governor to be a hypocrite.
Anyway,
I almost
look. Let's be fair. The governor has done some things in the state that have actually helped, but in this instance, when it comes to the Brewers, this is something that he could change or stop immediately by executive order to say, "Look, we need to put a hold on this. We need to do a little bit more on this. We're pandemic. We're coming out of it. There's inflation going on. There's all these different things. Let's put a pause on this and see if we can come up with an equitable solution." And basically, he talks about being fair in New Jersey. This isn't fair. All of this sides with the restaurant owners as opposed to the brewers.
100%.
What Chuck Garrity said from Death of the Fox Brewing, and he's really been on the forefront of all of this. I advise you to go check out Death of the Fox Brewing's page, or Chuck himself.
Anything we talk about tonight, we'll put up on the Locker Room Facebook page. So you can go to it and check all the links out.
But what he's saying, and he's 100% right, the NJABC is legislating entertainment, not beer. Yeah. Because if you look at most of the rules that have been set right now, they're all about entertainment, showing sporting events, trivia events. Oh, if you want to have an event, you can't hire a third-party planner. You can't. There's so many different things that you can't have food trucks on your property. You can't even. You can only advertise 25 events a year. Anytime you advertise an event, I've seen plenty of them on Facebook from Jersey breweries talking about what musical act is coming to their brewery this week. Every one of them counts towards the 25.
And they have to. And every brewery has to submit a notification to the state for each of those events.
Correct.
And each of those events, not only is it the notification, it's not really a notification, it's actually applying for a permit in reality, because the state can tell them, no, you can't do that event.
Right. And they have to do it.
Absolute power to say, nope, sorry, you can't do that event.
But listen to this. So they have to do it 10 days before the event.
Right.
I mailed out in May. They sent me an application, the DMV, for my handicap placard that I have on the car. I know I look young and virile, but I have issues walking, so I have a handicap placard. It expires in August. I mailed it in May. It's July. I still haven't gotten anything from the DMV.
Right. Yeah. Good luck having
something happen that you're telling me that the NJABC in 10 days is going to respond to you to say, yes, you can do this event, or no, you can't. I'll believe it when I see it. It's ludicrous, absolute ludicrous.
Agreed.
Insane.
And they
also said there was. I was just going to say there, as far as those 25 events go, there was always this, and I thought it was verbatim, but I guess it was just like an unwritten thing that they were talking about or whatever actually was. But it was 25 advertised events, meaning if you had an event but didn't advertise it, that was okay. Now, under this new legislation, if they find out that you had another event, not only will you get in trouble for it, but it counts towards one of the events.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
but how are they going to see? Here's the question that I have, though. How are they really going to find it out? How about if you advertise? What if you advertise an event under somebody else, somebody who doesn't work for the brewery? Let's say me. I advertise an event that's going on at, I'm not going to name a brewery, but let's just say XYZ Brewery in New Jersey.
Right.
They don't know who I am. They have no idea that I'm affiliated with that brewery. People show up. How are they going to find out? There are ways around it. They're going to have to be creative right now.
They're going to have to be creative. And let me tell you this. They are looking at social media. They are 100%. They are 100% looking at everybody's social media. Everybody's social media.
So they're seeing all Scotts Wells memes?
They are looking at
Nice.
everything.
Like it.
They are looking at everything.
The
So
whole thing is
here's the thing, though.
Right.
Okay, you have an event that nobody posted, nobody advertised. There was zero advertising for it, but you had it at the brewery.
Right.
One of the guests at the brewery takes a picture of it and posts it on their Instagram, tags a couple of people in it, puts a couple hashtags in it. They get back to the ABC and they look at it. They find out that there was an event that
now the question is,
they will.
It
will happen.
Is an event where it's just you and your friends meeting at a particular brewery.
Mm-hmm.
If you created an event in Facebook, are they going to count that?
No, it's a brewery sponsored event. It's like the three of us decide that we're all going to go to XYZ brewery one day, and we create an event to go.
Call a name, right.
That's not an event.
But John, in that same token, if that person takes a picture at the event and puts it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and says what brewery they're at, that's their own personal account. The ABC can't come after them or the brewery.
No,
right?
on Facebook, yes, but on Instagram, it depends on the privacy. It depends on the privacy of that individual's Facebook account or Instagram account. But if they tag the brewery in it. If they tag the brewery in it, and if they put up a hashtag that actually leads back to that brewery, if any of these Instagram searches, all they have to do when they're on Instagram and they're on that profile for that brewery is click the tab on the right side and see all the tags.
Right.
Okay.
So the brewery's tagged in it. Boom, there it is.
It's ridiculous. Oddly enough, on my beer cast this coming week, I'm actually going to the brewery tomorrow. Scott Wells is going to join me from Bolero for 2 segments. We're going to tape some stuff. We're going to air it this coming Sunday night at 11 o'clock Eastern. So stay tuned because I'm sure there's going to be some fireworks with going back and forth with Scott.
We'll put the links to that up on this too. Share it on that.
Absolutely.
It honestly baffles me how anybody, and I'm not just talking breweries, but why would anybody want to come to the state of New Jersey and do business with the state? They make it so prohibitive for you to do anything.
Unless you're a restaurant.
Well, right. If you're a restaurant, you got a lot of money. But here's the thing. I know that a lot of people on the message boards were talking about a class action lawsuit against the state. That could happen, but you've got to find a lawyer that's going to do it pro bono. You've got to find enough people that are going to put together this stuff to get it done. So that's one idea. But the other one is, I'm sure that we can find out what restaurants are within that restaurant association that are spearheading this, that say they're quote unquote losing business because the breweries are taking business away from them. Simple answer is this: hit them in their wallet, boycott the restaurant. Don't patronize the place.
It's clearly not. Here's the thing, and then a couple people that I've talked to over the last 4 or 5 days or whatever, a common thread amongst different conversations I had with different people in different places was, okay, you boycott the restaurants. That was one of the things. Boycott the restaurants. But breweries sell beer to restaurants and bars, so you don't want to do that. But here's the thing. Clearly, the restaurants that are spearheading this with the lobbyists and everything else are not buying craft beer.
No. It's probably all AB and Bev.
Right.
And they all have draft systems from AB and Bev. They're not paying for them. And they're wondering why people aren't coming. Well, there's a couple of reasons why people aren't coming. One, your food's terrible. Your beer is not good. Maybe you don't have servers to help. And look, and that's widespread at any restaurant. But the bottom line is, the restaurant shouldn't need a gimmick to get you to come into the restaurant. And it's not like the brewers are using a gimmick to get you to come into their place. They just want to offer some different things so that you'll come and spend some time. There are plenty of breweries that have worked with restaurants in their towns to help out one another. That's the other thing. If I were breweries, and I know that this is something that they probably won't do, every takeout menu that they have in their brewery, take them out. Sorry, if you want to bring food, get it somewhere and bring it in. But we're not gonna support these people until they do something to make a change here. And a lot of these things could be changed very simply. It doesn't require a lot. I think what they're trying to do, honestly, is they're forcing legislative action here, as opposed to let's put rules in place. Let's do legislative action to start changing things, because you guys agree the liquor licenses in the state, they're in the 1920s. Can we get to 2020, 2022 somewhere? I mean, let's get to the 21st century here. You have to make it. Yeah, I understand that these restaurant owners have paid in, whether they bought the license for $200,000 or $1 million or whatever it is. It's a commodity to them. They can sell it at a profit if they go out of business. The brewery can't sell their license. They have to get their license, then they have to buy equipment, and then they have to renew those licenses every year.
Right.
It's not the same thing. It's not equal.
It's not apples to apples. And the brewery they have to renew the licenses every year. And I promise you, the brewery equipment is as much, if not more, than the liquor license that bar.
By the way, that equipment depreciates in value. It doesn't go up. I mean, you can sell it eventually, but you're not going to get back what you paid for.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Nope.
And this is simple. Listen, I'm one of the dumbest human beings on the planet. If I can understand this, they certainly should be able to understand this. Honestly.
Now back to the lawsuit. We were talking about class action lawsuit.
Right.
A lot of things to base it on. One of the things, and I think it was on Death of the Fox's post, who's actually someone else that shared it, said we've basically the one that said they're regulating entertainment.
Right, not alcohol. Yes.
We have the ABC overstepping their authority.
Correct.
And there's legal precedent, right? When you looked at what Flying Dog took on the state of Michigan, because the ABC that said they could not bring in Rage and Bitch because of the name of the beer.
Right.
And Flying Dog said, no. The ABC is not. They're not censoring. They're in charge of alcohol. They have no authority here. They won that particular case. Right. So there's precedent that when the ABC oversteps what their authority is, that it can be overturned.
Sure.
I would love to see a lawyer take this on because I think this would honestly. This has a very good chance of winning, or at the very least, spurring action from either the legislature, and there are a lot of pro-legislators who want craft beer to continue here in the state.
Mm-hmm.
Vin Gopal, the senator of Monmouth County, certainly wants it to continue. He's a big fan of craft beer. I think if you get him on board and a few others to maybe push something through the legislature, that can happen. Short of that, I think, Murphy's off in Italy now. Who knows when he comes back? Who knows if he's even going to listen? I've been tweeting away at him. I made a call to Trenton today. They wouldn't talk to me. No, he doesn't have any comment on it, no statement, whatever. So he's basically putting his head in the sand and he doesn't care.
Right.
But he's going to care when breweries start going out of business and the tax revenue isn't there.
Yep. When tax revenues dry up, that's when he starts to care.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I like a couple of the memes that have been created. That like the McDonald's meme. You need to come look at our grease trap before we make your Happy Meal.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if people took a tour of certain restaurants? You wouldn't eat there.
You would never eat there. Never
turn around and walk out.
Right. And on that note, walk through almost any brewery. Walk through any brewery for that matter. Cleaning is 90% of owning a brewery.
That's right.
So walk through any brewery and you will love to drink every ounce of beer that they make. Walk through any restaurant. Walk through most every restaurant. Most any. I'm sure there's plenty of that are decent, but I'm not categorizing all there. But
no,
walk through a lot of restaurants. You walk out the door.
And how many tap rooms are actually in the brewery itself, where you can see the brewer equipment?
Sure.
Right there.
You're right in the middle of it
when you're sitting in the tap room.
Wet Ticket's a perfect example. They have tables and chairs right in the brewery space.
Right near the brewery.
Ghost Talk is another one.
And it's clean as a whistle. Clean as a whistle.
Absolutely.
So one thing is we need to find out which of those legislators vote on the side of the restaurants.
Oh, that should be easy to find.
And put them out. Vote them out.
Well, it sounds to me, and again, this is just my opinion. I don't have knowledge of this. It sounds to me like a lot of the fight from the restaurant owners are coming from the southern half of the state. Right. I don't think the northern half of the state are as much as having a bigger issue with craft beer in general. I think the southern restaurant, the South Jersey restaurants, having an issue because a lot of times, a lot of the breweries in South Jersey are kind of in oasis areas where there's not a lot of food options around, and where there is food options. These restaurant owners are feeling like, well, we're losing business. Well, how are you losing business? If they're ordering food from you, you're winning, and so's the brewery. Right. I don't understand it. So they're not drinking your Bud and your Coors Light?
Because they're not sitting at the bar drinking 4 or 5 Budweisers. That's why they're losing business.
Right.
And the bottom line is, look, breweries can only, there can be no food.
Right.
They cannot, and most of the food, not all, because, occasionally there might be a food truck that happens to drive along on a public street, park, and offer
food trucks.
But how about
on a public street, not but the restaurants are winning there as far as that goes. But also, they can only brew their own beer. They can only serve the beer that they brew.
Correct.
They can't serve anything else. They can't even serve soda unless they make it there. They
Right.
can't serve. They can't serve coffee. They can't serve any other beverages.
Well,
right?
wait, the coffee
No,
one is the
the
best.
coffee, yeah.
Are you telling me that rule wasn't enacted specifically for Death of the Fox? Is there any other brewery in the state of New Jersey that makes coffee and sells it in their
Nope.
place?
Nope.
None.
None.
Zero. The
Zero.
only one that does is Death of the Fox.
Mhm.
That was directly targeted at them.
Mhm.
You can't tell me that wasn't.
Of course.
And then they said, "Oh no, it's your grandfathered in. Don't worry about that. You have nothing to worry about." Chuck had mentioned it today on his Facebook page, but why create that rule? Because Starbucks was screaming? Really?
Yeah, Starbucks is not hurting. Actually, I'm surprised that no breweries actually have a Starbucks in them.
Right. Yeah.
That might come
exactly.
It may be coming.
That was one of the best lines in one of the. You ever watch Dennis Miller?
Oh,
Dennis Miller when he had his HBO show and he did the news, right?
Right.
And he says, due to a lack of available retail space in the downtown Los Angeles area, the new Starbucks opened up inside an existing Starbucks.
And you had Lewis Black talking about exiting a Starbucks in Houston, looking across the street, and what do you see? Another Starbucks.
Right.
That's great.
But yeah, all of these things, and again, so it's just that beer. They can't serve mixed drinks. They can't serve cocktails. They can't do any of that. No food. So I mean, what? I don't understand. I really just don't get the disconnect. I just really don't.
And then the no food is the stupidest thing because
drink all you want, don't eat.
Yeah, get drunk and crash. We are probably the only country on the planet whose drinking culture does not involve food. Everywhere else, every other country you go to and drink, there's always food involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A lot of other states, there's food involved too.
In most other states, exactly.
We're talking about specifically New Jersey here.
You're wearing a shirt from a brewery that has one of the best sandwich shops in it.
Absolutely.
Right?
And I mentioned that this is Pilsner Pirates. It's a shirt from Human Robot Brewing. By the way, I didn't say it before. I'm drinking a Tamabe 13 Tamabe from Human Robot. So.
We're gonna get to Pennsylvania in a moment, but I'm drinking Old Jersey today. This was proprietary pills from Icarus.
I am oddly enough drinking in the Treehouse class, but that's besides the point.
And now the thing is, early on, Al, you talked about how we had the laws that were on the books not being enforced, but it seems that the enforcement was more stringent.
Well, for describing beer, yes.
Stringent, yeah. No, so I'm missing a word. More, not strident. There's a word I'm missing. Any rate, but tougher. We'll go with tougher.
Okay.
Tougher than they originally were. Take the brewery tour thing. Right. That asinine bit of legislature. Mm-hmm. that you've got to tour the brewery first. Before, it was really only you just needed a tour before you drank.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, and then if you'd been there before, you could just go right to the tap room.
Right.
Now, it resets at the end of the year.
Which is silly because you're going to forget how they make beer?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not like you've not been to other breweries and taking a tour at every single one of these damn breweries to the point. Any three of us.
Well, every brewery makes beer differently, right? I mean, every brewery makes beer differently.
Now, granted, I'll say.
No two the same.
That said, Gretchen Smithhauser still gives the best goddamn tour you'll ever have at a brewery.
But think about it. Think about it for a second with the tour thing. So I know Sunday I was at my favorite watering hole at Paragon Tap and Table, and I ran into somebody that works at a brewery. I'm not gonna mention the brewery. They were fined by the ABC a couple of weeks ago because they didn't give a tour to somebody. Think about that.
That's ridiculous.
They didn't give a tour to somebody. You walk into the place, the tanks are right there. There's a picture in the brewery how our beer is made.
Yep.
Could it get any simpler? And yet they're going to get fined.
Yeah, and you've got they're all
Cape May actually has a great tour. In order to get into the tap room, you have to take the tour.
You have to
walk through and look at the signs and whatever and this and that before you get into
They set that up so well. It wasn't originally was not like that, but they reset it up so when you walk in, you are on the tour in order to get to the tap room.
Right, and I get it that breweries now they can't do that. I understand that.
Right.
But I mean, Bolero did it smart. You took the tour. They gave you a card that you wrote your name, the date, so you had record.
You collect it.
But why are the breweries now going to be responsible for taking people's names and information and storing them in a database that they have to give to a government entity? Why are we doing this? Do you
Just
do
to
that
make
when you
it
go to a
tougher.
restaurant?
I
Just
don't
make it
have a
tougher for
problem. I don't have one problem doing that as long as every single restaurant does the same thing.
Right. I mean, do you every time you go to a restaurant
For my
you have to
kid,
give
for
your
their
name?
kitchens, write the
Yeah.
information down, send it to the state. Every single one do that, then fine. Then every
But
brewery can do that.
It's almost, again, like I said, they want to penalize small business from trying to make a profit. I don't understand that. It's so asinine. It's ridiculous. And the governor keeps talking about being fair and we're going to bring job. We want people here and this and that. Well, you're stifling a segment of your population that is going. By the way, during the pandemic, how many people were ordering delivery, to home and going to the breweries to pick them up to support these local businesses? How many people were doing that? And by the way, that money that was coming in, they paid the state in tax revenue. That's not going to happen anymore. I'll say this, like looking forward, if nothing changes, I could see in the next 6 to 10 months at least 5 breweries saying, I'm leaving the state of New Jersey, I'm going somewhere else. And some other state is going to give them a sweetheart deal and they walk away.
Pennsylvania is asking for them already.
Let's talk about it. It's the reason Johnny's decked out in Pennsylvania stuff. Because we were gonna play the whole good cop, bad cop, but we got right into the dirt real quickly.
Okay.
But that's why he's drinking Pensy. That's why he's wearing Pensy, is to point out that whole courtship right now and who was it? What was it in Pennsylvania? Who prompted the come to us after it came through? What was that? Who there was that article. New Jersey proves yet again they're the armpit of the nation.
Brewery,
breweries in PA.
In breweries in PA, the guild there. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, so their guild.
Yes.
So their guild's trying to court New Jersey breweries, and like you said, if the laws don't change, we're going to lose businesses. We're going to lose jobs. We're going to lose revenue.
Let's look at it this way. Let's look at Pennsylvania. I'll mention New York too, but Pennsylvania. I mean, how many? I've been to many breweries in Pennsylvania, and I've eaten food there that has been made in the brewery. Whether it's made by the brewery or made by another party that has another, like Human Robot too. Poe's Sandwich Shop, amazing chicken sandwiches.
Amazing.
Still got to get there, Al.
Lost Tavern has a food truck parked outside that serves food while you're sitting there at the brewery.
Yep.
Everybody wins.
Even get bigger. Go to Trogs, obviously huge,
Bingo.
obviously, but great food there.
Great food
right there. Yeah, and you're sitting at a bar looking at the 140, 120, 240 barrel tanks, and the kitchen's over here. You walk over, get your food set. Yeah, it's
Source in Fishtown. Lucked out, got a great place. Their food is killer, and the beer is fantastic.
Well, that's the thing. We've got Jersey breweries already opening up in Pennsylvania, and they're serving food.
Sure, absolutely.
Source, one of Al's favorite breweries. He's there every Friday. Pretty much.
Not every, almost.
Pretty much every Friday. That's how I sometimes know.
Make me out to be an alcoholic, but yeah, all right.
No. An alcoholic needs a drink. You already have one.
I don't have a problem.
This is true.
That shaking is not for the beer; it's for the booze.
A lot, a number of times he's at Source. Somebody's sitting with him having a beer too, and
this is true. Well, 2 weeks ago, I walked in and well, I shouldn't even say anything because he might get in trouble. But I was given a taste of something and said, "Yeah, sure, I'll sit down and have a beer. Why not?"
Sure.
We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
But we've got
we got a comment here by I'm not sure who this gentleman is. I'll put it up. Matt Potensky, I think his name is. Okay.
Oh, is it Potensky? Oh, is he Post Sandwich Shop? Is that?
I believe, yeah.
No.
Anyway, yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's crazy how restricted it is considering the high tax rate that breweries fall under. The state is even screwing themselves to a certain extent.
They absolutely are.
Absolutely.
They don't care though. They're flush with cash. They got all this federal money.
Sure.
It's not wait a second. There's a distinction there. The state isn't flush with cash. The legislators are
right.
They're stuffed.
And if you notice, that a lot of them were screaming, "Hey, we got all this money. Let's pay down on some debt and let's hold a little bit back in case there's a downturn. Let's spend it. Let's just as quick as we get it. Let's spend it."
Exactly.
Well, it's New Jersey.
It's New Jersey.
Well, it's every state. They're all.
Look, I'm going to mention this too. And I know we're going back and forth with New Jersey and Pennsylvania, but I want to throw New York in there too. New Jersey, you apply for a brewer's license, you can brew beer. If you want to make mead, you can't have a brewer's license. If you want to make spirits, you can't have a brewer's license. If you want to make cider, you can't have a brewer's license. And you can't do any of the other things if you have any of the other things. It's one. Pick one. That's it. Pick one.
New York,
you can brew beer,
Right.
and make cider
Or
and
wine.
distill spirits
Or make
and
wine.
make wine, and have food.
Mhm.
Not have at it. Knock
Right.
yourself out.
Warwick is a prime example.
Right.
Right, Warwick Valley, they're a winery, they're a cidery, and they run a distillery as well. Right, Black Dirt is theirs, correct?
Yep.
Prime
Yep.
example.
Prime example. Do
And-
have at it. Enjoy.
And you know
we'll
what?
help you, and we'll help you do it.
Right, and
That's the
give
state.
credit where credit is due. Governor Cuomo, the former governor, may not be the best person on everybody's mind,
Right.
but he did a lot more to further breweries and cideries and wineries within the state in his term as governor than anybody did. I mean, they had a lightning leap of how many breweries were there to when he got into office, and then after he got out of office. Huge.
Yeah, it's interesting because some of the less popular governors make good decisions when it comes to craft beer. Look at Christie.
Because Christie recognized the value of it and the revenue.
Yep.
He understood, what was going on. And again, I'm not saying the current governor is not a fan of craft beer. He seems to be a fan of it, but he says one thing and he's doing another.
Right.
So be consistent with what you're doing. And he knows exactly what's in these rules. He can't sit there and feign ignorance and say, I don't know, because if you didn't know, Governor,
Then
by
why'd
the way,
you sign it?
Yeah, you signed off on it. And by the way, you allowed the free beer to happen when people were getting shots, and that was illegal under the law.
Allow it? No, he
promoted it. And then not only
it.
did he promote it, he sandbagged all the brewers. They basically were told at 9:00 in the morning, oh, the governor's making an announcement at noon. Here's what's happening. They had no idea. None of them did.
And he also not only promoted, he promoted while standing. He actually went to a brewery.
I think yes.
Right.
I forgot which one he went.
I
I
to.
forgot which one too. I was this whole time trying to think really quick what it was, but I forget what it was. But yeah.
Was it was it Flying Fish? Was it somewhere in South Jersey?
That doesn't sound right.
I don't think it was Flying Fish. I mean, it had to be somewhere closer to Trenton, right? So River Horse, maybe.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember. I really don't remember. That was a guess, only because River Horse is the next town over. So
I'm grabbing another Jersey beer while we still have Jersey beer.
I hope some Jersey beer exists for a while.
You're making a joke about it, but honestly, I can listen. The bigger guys are going to survive. A lot of them don't rely on, having musical acts or doing trivia night or sporting events or whatever to get people to come into their brewery. So I get it. Those people are going to be okay. Maybe a lot of them, it's distribution. I understand that. But for the smaller ones that are starting out, for the ones that
are just now starting out,
right? I mean, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be an issue. Now, if your beer is good, it doesn't matter. They're going to come in regardless of what goes on. I mean, look at Treehouse. Right. There's nothing there. It's beer. That's it. I mean,
there's no entertainment there. And
they have food. They have food.
And here you go. There you go. And Treehouse right there. And every single drop of beer they brew is sold out of their brewery.
Right. Yep. They distro nowhere.
Nowhere.
Right.
The bar down the street doesn't have any Treehouse unless somebody brings it in there.
Another perfect example in Jersey, Troon. Troon is a perfect example. They brew the beer there. You come and pick it up. The only other place you're going to get it is at Brick Farm Tavern. That's
the restaurant right there on the park.
That's it. Nowhere else. And that's what's going to end up being. Now, listen, they're happy with that. I'm sure they're making money. It's a nice problem to have, and I'm sure they've been approached by distributors to try and distribute their beer, or let's build a tap room or whatever this and that.
Right.
But their model works for them. But what happens to a Twin Elephant when they can't host a musical act because it goes under the 25 rule and we can't promote it? You can only promote it every other Thursday at 5 p.m. And if you have it on for 10 minutes too long, they're gonna fine you. Most of these people are just gonna be like, you know what? What's the point? Why am I killing myself?
What is the point? That's the point.
Right.
What is the point?
Right. It's just it's sad. It's really sad, especially we're going into an inflation. People are looking for reasons to just get off, just get on the government dole and stay there. Honestly, I think it sets a bad precedent here, and it's something that can be changed very simply. And I don't understand
very easily. It's just it's so ridiculously easy to fix this.
It is. But a certain person whose name we won't mention has been banging away telling people, contact your legislators, contact the governor.
We don't mention his name on the show anyway, because you do it 3 times he shows up.
Right. So That's why I didn't mention his name. But it's out there.
And we will share the link after the show on the Locker Room Guys page.
Yeah. All of these posts, all of these memes, well, even the memes, we'll share them. But the post, contact your legislators post, and also the post to get to the governor. Even though he's in Italy,
he's still going to get the message.
Flood his office.
And don't think it can't make a difference. It can.
Yes.
Enough of these people, I'm sure, have gotten emails this morning after being off for the holiday going, what's going on here? What do we, one of them is going to spur to action, I hope, and maybe take some legislative steps here.
Well, we hope there's some sanity in Trenton. We hope.
There's got to be some, right?
It's got to be.
There's got to be some.
You would think.
We'll see.
And if not, hey, tell them at the polls. If they're not going to listen to the emails, tell them at the polls.
That's it.
That is exactly how you can enact.
And you know what? And they decided to enforce this after Election Day, didn't they?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Smart move.
Wait on it. Just wait a little bit on it. There we go.
Okay, now make the statement.
Now make the statement. All right. What's your second beer?
That's my second one.
How many beer?
From Alternate Ending.
Very nice.
Excellent lager. They did a great job with this. Kids are in the water. Children are in the water, and they're having a great time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, are you going to crush it?
Crush it like Quinn.
Crush it like Quinn.
There you go. Dave, what are you having?
Oh, I showed you what I'm having.
Oh, very nice.
Considering Matt Patensky, the head brewer behind this beer, has commented on the show.
He did. There you go.
We'll go there. This is some amazing New England style IPA.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I heard
Mosaic and Galaxy. It is pretty tasty. This is the second time I've drank it on the show. The first time I drank it was the launch party.
Yes, very good.
It was the key to that Folgers coffee commercial.
Key to the Folgers coffee. Yeah. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna have. All right. So I had a human robot. Right. That's what this shirt is. Pilsner Pirates.
Right.
But it's funny enough. Really quick, human robot is in Philly.
Yep.
And they have a Pilsner Pirates shirt, obviously. So I wore the baseball Pirates cap with it. So I'm going to drink a Pittsburgh beer, London Crawling, from Grist House Brewing.
Nice. There you go. I hear that's a phenomenal beer.
It is a very tasty beer. And it is an English dark mild. Let me just pour it off here.
Oh, I love a dark mild.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a funny thing about the I don't know if you guys saw this. One of the pages posted it. There's an event next week, I believe, in New Brunswick, where they're talking about New Jersey liquor licenses.
Yes, East Brunswick. It's in East Brunswick.
East Brunswick. Yeah. So I'm actually thinking about going because I think it's from 2:30
I was
to
considering
5.
going too. Yeah, I was considering going too. Yeah.
Because I'd like to know, so which of you guys here at the restaurant doesn't like craft beer? Because you got a guy on your board that owns a craft brewery.
Right.
Yeah.
Third State Brewing. I think the guy who owns Third State.
Right.
Okay.
It's on the association. Okay. So what's up, guys? Like,
what day is this happening?
I think it's next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
I believe it is. I think I actually have it here. Let me just see if I can pull it up really quick.
It's a liquor license town hall event. Apparently, an assemblyman will be there. He's the chairman, Joe Danielson, chairman of the New Jersey Assembly Oversight Reform and Federal Relations Committee.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lawyer that's going to be moderating it. And, Jay Mahoney, the owner of Third State Brewery, is the president of the New Jersey Brewers Association. He's on this board.
Right.
So, be interesting to see.
That will be interesting.
So, that it's definitely going to be interesting. That's for sure. And we're going to post everything on the Facebook page. So anybody listening, anybody watching it, just go to the Facebook page and check it all out. Everything, step by step, everything that comes out on this, whether it's just fodder or information or results or anything like that, it'll be all be on the.
And now, if that meeting gets out of hand, start going to some of the stuttering John questions.
Yeah.
What did you do with the money?
Exactly.
What money?
John's a good guy. I know him a little bit. He's a good dude.
That'd be awesome.
The stutter's legit. He's a good dude.
Mm-hmm. But he can talk without the stutter very easily too.
He can. And oddly enough, the first time I met him, he brought dwarfs up to the studio so that we could toss them. It's hilarious. You haven't lived until you've thrown a short person down a hallway. Really.
Oh, that's great.
Totally wrong. It's
I wish
totally
I was
now.
there for that.
Right.
I did. I was privy when I worked at WINS. I was privy to a few of the things that Opie and Anthony did.
Oh.
I was involved with. So.
That would be
But I'm not going to get into them on this show right now.
That would be an interesting version of cornhole, now, wouldn't it? Just imagine.
Whoop.
Actually, you're right. It would be. Missed it by that much.
Oh, geez, it gets smart reference.
There you go. But it's
anyway, we've gone off the rails here
a little bit. Well, I mean, what else is there? I mean, yeah, people expect us to go on a tangent here and there. We got another comment.
I don't know if you want to put it up.
Remind me to tell you a story about dwarf tossing next time I see you.
Done.
That was from Matt, not me.
Gotta say, I don't think I've ever tossed a dwarf.
It's a harness, the whole thing. It's very elaborate.
It's involved. It's involved. Yeah,
there's a helmet, the whole thing. Yeah,
safety first.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, that's good.
Where were we? What the hell were we talking?
We were talking. We were talking about the state of New Jersey.
Being douchebags.
Right.
I was going to say bass backwards, but potato.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah. Okay, so have we covered off on all the stupid regulations? Have we missed any?
I mean, there's so many of them. It's basically like, listen, we want you to go to a brewery, buy your beer, drink it quietly, don't make any fuss, and leave.
Don't eat anything and get out.
Yeah, and get out.
Look,
and get out, and good luck driving home.
Let's refresh some people's minds here for a second, okay? Before Chris Christie passed that law on, I believe it was September 24th. I know it was September. I believe it was September 24th, 2012. There were, 9 or 10 breweries in New Jersey?
And a smattering of brew pubs.
And a smattering of brew pubs. Yeah, production breweries and then a smattering of brew pubs after that. Right. Anyway, but the breweries specifically, you were able to come in. The instant you walked in the door, you needed a tour.
Yep. Right.
Okay. You couldn't come in unless you were going right on the tour first. So if the tour started with a group of people and then another group walked up to the door, they had to wait there until the tour guide came back and got them and brought them through. Then they could have 4 4-ounce samples.
That was it.
Then
the brewery could not charge for it.
You can't charge for it. 4 free 4-ounce samples. Free beer. That was legal. 4 4-ounce free samples. Okay. Then, if you wanted to purchase beer, you could buy up to 2 6-packs. Let's face it, it was a while ago, so there were only 4 packs at the time. So, but 2 6-packs, and then whether you bought beer or not, when you were done with the 4 4-ounce samples, bye, get out. Couldn't stay anymore. Hang out, right?
I remember that when I stayed at Lambertville for a weekend, and River Horse was right there. That's exactly what it was. Here's your beers. Want to buy something? No? Okay, out.
Goodbye.
See you later.
That's it. So Chris Christie passed the law, and again, 9, 10, maybe 11 breweries, something like somewhere. It was like 9 or 10. Carton and Cane and Cape May were open just before the law. Yep. Those were the ones that opened like just before the law, and a couple others. Turtle Stone that's closed by now.
Oh, they never really
got going or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, and then the law was passed in September 2012, saying that brewers could have tap rooms, and in the tap rooms you could, have full pours and stay there. You still needed your tour, but however you did it, but you could hang out in the tap room all day. Whatever.
There was no limit to what you could.
No limit to what you could purchase to drink there, or
you could purchase a 6-stall.
You could buy 5 half barrels to take home in your car if you wanted to. It's up to you. So,
still no food.
Still no food.
But just beer.
And that's what obviously inhibited the explosion of craft brewing in New Jersey. So, I mean, we're up to 134, 135 breweries right now, and some have closed. So, had those ones not closed, we'd be over 140 at this point, probably even closer to 150. But whatchamacallit? We made so many strides forward with that law that Christie passed, and then obviously the Restaurant Association got up in arms, and let's face it, they have a ton of lobbyists, and that's where all of this stems from. And
apparently they've got enough. Apparently they're not hurting so bad that they can't pay these lobbyists.
Right? No. They all cost money.
Yeah.
And what baffles
not as much as legislatures cost.
Well, that's true. But what baffles me is, why is it that these particular set of restaurant people, because there are restaurant owners that will work with breweries
Mhm.
that are happy to have
Absolutely.
them come in,
Sure.
and do things with them in their towns, whatever. Even if they don't necessarily do a tap takeover or anything like that, they will support them,
Sure.
and
Oh,
vice versa.
Cloverleaf Tavern being one of the greatest examples of that.
Right. But even that, I mean, Cloverleaf is, listen, it's a great restaurant, but it's designed to support a lot of
craft community.
local breweries. So I get that. What I'm talking about is like there's a pub in Rahway that has a dedicated tap for Wet Ticket. Now they have other beers there as well, can selection and draft beer, but one of their taps has the local brewery in town, which is a good thing.
Sure.
It's a hand-in-hand thing.
Absolutely.
What I want to know is
It should
where are
be.
these restaurants that are hurting, that are not getting the business? I'll bet you some of them are local, because I've heard some rumblings that one of the restaurants that's near Ashton Brewery in Middlesex County, not happy with the breweries, and they're the ones that kind of spearheaded this effort, or at least got into somebody's ear that said these breweries are taking money out of my pocket. Well, let's see the books.
Yeah.
How much money are you actually losing? Is it because your food is not good? Is it because your service is not good? Or is it because maybe people don't want to, come to your whatever the case may be? Let's see why you're losing money. Maybe
Let's
it's just
see
a failed restaurant.
Let's see why a brewery that can't serve food, can't really have many events.
They're not
obviously,
making 3 times the money that the restaurant is making. There's no way. It's not happening.
And can only serve nothing but the beer they brew on their premise, is taking money out of a restaurant that can do everything.
I can't see it. I can't see it.
You brought up earlier, Al, find out who these restaurants are that are spearheading it. Boycott them.
Right.
But if you even want to play even dirtier, take to Yelp. Take to Google reviews.
One star
Lambast them.
reviews. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
One star them to death.
Yeah.
Drag those ratings down.
There's
no proof that you don't have to, they're not keeping books that you visited or took a tour, so they can't prove you were there or not.
Right. That's a good point.
This is very true. There's maybe that makes them start taking notes of whether you were there. How many times you've been there?
But you know what? Think about it. If you go to a good restaurant that has good food and a good selection of whether it's beer, wine, spirit, whatever it is, you're going to go back. You're going to continue to go to that restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
If your service is terrible and your food is terrible, you're not going. I don't care what is there. If it's not the breweries, they're going to blame somebody else.
Right. I'm gonna put this out there really quick. I clearly love craft beer. I think everybody can get that, right?
I got to test.
I don't.
Right. I didn't until tonight. I didn't.
I swear he does. I swear he does.
I don't only drink craft beer.
Right.
I drink other things.
We've seen it.
Spirits. I occasionally drink wine. All right. I always eat food.
Occasionally, you're made to drink.
Trust
seltzer.
me. I'm going to go to a restaurant on occasion that may actually not even have any craft beer on tap.
Right.
Yeah. This weekend.
That's me.
We went to Torino in Metuchen.
Right.
I recommend it to everybody.
I'm getting over there very soon.
You got to.
Yeah.
And here is right now a lot of restaurants that are doing well. One of the reasons they're doing well, BYOBs.
Yep.
Because the alcohol markup in restaurants, especially wine and spirits, is insane.
Yep.
Right? Craft beer, not so much, but everything else is insane. So the BYOB restaurants, maybe that's what's taking business away from these restaurants.
Could be. Right? I mean, and again, we're talking about a state that is so restrictive in their liquor license rules. It's so archaic that it's based on population size of each town as to how many licenses you can give out.
Right.
It's silly. I mean,
because people never cross town lines.
And further than that, it's up to the individual municipality that if they want to actually give out the maximum amount of liquor licenses that they're allowed to.
Right.
So many towns can have, and I'm just giving an arbitrary number here. I'm just using it as a fact. Can have 20 licenses, only give out 10.
Right.
They don't want more than that. Rutherford, New Jersey, in Bergen County, has many people. They can have liquor licenses. They're a dry town. There's 3 liquor stores and no on-premise locations in the town. They're a dry town. Their call, not the state's. Their call.
Should liquor licenses, if we've trusted the state government, should it be state regulated or should it be municipality?
I think it should be state regulated at this point.
I agree.
Because, and again, that's where the restaurant owners will start screaming, well, you're going to devalue my license. No, you have to make it fair to them. You have to say your license is going to be worth X amount. So let's say a guy bought a liquor license for $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
The state has to come in and go, we're going to fairly assess it. So maybe your license isn't worth $1 million anymore. Maybe it's $500,000. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's $750,000. Mm-hmm. Somewhere around there, so that we can free up, some other stuff to allow other people to come in to have a shot.
But that's not in their best interest.
Listen, maybe somebody like a Torino restaurant wants a liquor license because they want to showcase Italian wine, to showcase their Italian food or whatever.
Maybe they want to have meat. Maybe they want to have meat there.
It'd be nice to have some meat there.
Maybe they want to have meat there.
It would go perfectly well with the blueberry panna cotta.
Right, but that looks so good. Just to see the process of what he was putting together, I was like, so. But that's the point, man. Now maybe he doesn't want that, but at least give the owner the option to want to do that. I know that there were some who are like, I'd rather be BYOB. I'd rather you bring your own stuff. I don't have to take on the responsibility. It's your responsibility when you come in. You're bringing the booze. If something happens, I'm not liable for it.
Absolutely.
I got that.
Yep. Absolutely. If I were opening a restaurant today, I would absolutely be a BYOB. Even if it wasn't a problem and I had plenty of money to just pay cash for a liquor license, I would not.
Because let's be fair. When you go to a BYOB, are you bringing in? You're not bringing in like 2 bottles of Dewar's, a bottle of wine.
You're not sitting there mixing
cocktails. I'm gonna have a little aperitif before my wheel.
It's a bottle. It's after. 1, maybe 2 bottles of wine.
Exactly.
Maybe
with
4 or
6
pack
people, 4 people, whatever.
Right.
What? No. 2 bottles of wine for me.
Oh.
Each. Yeah, right there. You go.
Yeah. Bring your own.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you bring your own. Yeah.
That's why it's a BYO.
Right.
Own.
Or in your case, it's a BMOB. Bring my
own beer. Yeah, right. Right. It's not a BEB. Bring everybody's booze.
Yeah, no. Screw them. Let them get their own.
Right. Right.
Anyway, but So, look, we could talk to our blue in the face. It's obvious, and I don't understand how it's not even blatantly obvious to more people. And when I say more people, clearly it's a lot of people understand it. I mean, the more people in that, what's that? That's over there, Trenton, that place over there.
Yeah.
And
I
mean, I mean, do you think I'm wrong in saying, do you think I'm wrong in assuming that there are plenty of people that were privy to all of this going through last Friday that sat there and went, really? That's what we're voting on?
We hope.
Well, now wait a second. Now you're going under the assumption that the legislature had something to do with this. I don't believe that.
Or not voting on, but at least seeing what's going on.
No, because
they didn't even see it. It just went through and done.
It just went through because it's the same rules that they had 2 years ago, which have been in effect. Right. They basically dropped the bombshell to say, now we're coming to enforce it. I don't think the legislature had anything to do with this, or even saw it, or even know about it, or remember it from 2 years ago. They're worried about so many other things.
Sure.
And there's
been a couple of things that went on in the last 2 years that kind of took their mind off.
And there's a safe bet. The governor got a phone call from James Graziano and said, we're doing this today. Okay. And that's it.
It's all right. I'm going to Italy. Have at it.
Yeah. Bye. Arrivederci. Ciao.
4th of July. Happy birthday, America. I'm going to Italy.
Italy.
Yeah.
A place that's been fascist, but still has better liquor laws than New Jersey.
Fair point.
Yeah, very fair point.
But Europe itself, you said it.
The culture.
You said it. It's the culture. There is zero tolerance for alcohol in Europe. You get caught drinking and driving, bye. There's no, I got a lawyer, I'm going to plea bargain, I'm going to do this, I'll do community service. Nope. So they know. So that's why non-alcoholic beer is so popular in Europe, because these guys know we can bang back as many as we want. And we know we can get in our car and we can drive at the end of the day. And if we're going to drink in excess, we're going to do it in our homes. We're not going to be in some, unless we don't have to worry about driving. We're stumbling to our hotel across the street, or, whatever the case.
Or somebody else is driving, or you're taking a cab,
or a lot of the small towns in Italy, you just walk there.
Right.
You're like a local.
Hence the stumble.
I mean, but think about it. Why did Stone Brewing fail in Germany? Because the location that they had was gorgeous. It was beautiful, but it was too far away from the tube. It was too far away for Uber. And most Europeans, they want to go to a place to drink where it's close by to public transportation or someplace they can get to conveniently, without having to get in a car and drive. They miscalculated.
They had a mindset in a United States mindset where they have this beautiful location off the beaten path that everybody's going to flock to because it's so gorgeous. Right. That's not the way it is over there.
But you also
not even close.
A lot of the European beers also lower in alcohol than what we make here, because this is America, bigger, badder, whatever, and.
I'm not going to drink a 4% Kolsch. What are you, out of your mind?
What are you, pussy?
Right.
Right. No, I want to get up in the morning and not have a headache.
Exactly.
And that's not to say I don't listen. That's not to say I don't like high ABV beers, but let's be smart here. You can't do that every day.
No.
If I've got the keys and I'm driving, my first one may be a high. And then I go to the lows, and then I stop entirely.
Right. Exactly.
And then it goes right to water.
Yep.
Right, because you're responsible. And it seems in New Jersey, they don't think that any craft breweries can be responsible.
Right.
So they have to take all the fun away.
I'm the opposite.
We're all children.
Right. And I'm the opposite when I'm home. I'm the opposite when I'll ramp myself up because I always want to end, especially in the summer, right? I always want to end the day at my fire pit on my deck with a cigar and a high ABV beer.
Oh, it helps you sleep.
But then I'm gonna crawl inside and go to sleep. That's what I'm gonna do, So
speaking of, I'm gonna ramp up my ABV for my third beer.
Why don't you ramp up your ABV for your third beer? I'm gonna finish my second one here. I'm just not down in it. By the way, it's a Pennsylvania glass too.
Nice.
There you go, right there. The food there.
Mine is just very generic.
There you go.
I'm just drinking out of the same glass the whole time. But the one that you got there, John, Two Rivers, the food there is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
The bison burger. Ooh.
Yes. Bison burger's very good there.
Oh my god.
Very good there. Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm sticking to Jersey. Mm-hmm. Johnny can go Pennsylvania all he wants. Just hopefully he's not taking Coastal Brew Works to Pennsylvania.
No.
It's not coastal.
I don't know. I mean,
satellite operation.
Exactly.
It's not coastal, John.
How about Lakel? Can you Lakel? Like do it at a lake somewhere.
Actually, you can go Littoral.
Well, on the coast of a lake, right? It's still coastal.
It's called Littoral. Littoral Brew Works. You can go that way.
There you go.
Literally Littoral.
Littoral.
But I'm gonna go with 2 ton because I love these boys.
Nice.
The Barbieri's. This is an IPA, Imperial IPA. I didn't even realize that thing was blocking this the whole time. Like nothing matters.
I didn't even notice.
But this was their OG.
Couldn't see your face, but I didn't even notice.
Oh, that's a good thing sometimes. So this is most of the time. This is Hammer and Ale. This was
Hammer and Ale. Yes.
This is why they impressed me, is because they originally contract brewed out of Climax, and the first beer they brewed was an IPA.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that Climax does not brew IPAs.
It's a fad.
It's a fad. Yeah. IPAs are a fad. They're going away.
I don't know who said that, but I heard it somewhere.
Jim Cook said the same thing. He thought it was a fad. He was wrong.
He was a little wrong. And then they finally had to go, he had to get rebellious. And finally.
Rebellious. I see what you did there.
Good. I like that. I like that. But he even admitted he was wrong. He said, we missed the boat on it.
Well, because he's a good guy. The other person we're talking about has not admitted they're wrong.
Like a 200-year-old beer style is
it's a fad.
A fad.
Well, the American version of it is.
Well, yeah,
very little to do.
Bastardized American version of it. Yes.
Right.
Yes, bigger, badder, stronger.
Right.
That's right.
America.
So anyway, but
I love this beer. So what I love about this beer is it's malty, resiny, and I had to save it for last because I'm not going to taste anything else after this.
At a 9.1%.
It's not even the 9.1. It's just the resiny aftertaste to it.
Does it say how many IBUs? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. I can always look it up and see. We can always
if it's even listed. A lot of places don't.
It's got a government warning on it, but I'm not pregnant, so we're good there. I may look pregnant, but I'm not.
You can identify as pregnant now.
I can. Oh, can you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not fat. I'm
You know
pregnant.
what?
That's
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it was just like
After this past weekend, I definitely identify as.
it was just like Governor Cuomo. I'm not a pervert. I'm Italian.
what is it? It's a stout. No, it could be a porter. I'm not sure.
I'm not quite sure. You
Give it
got to
a
wait
minute.
a little bit longer for the
That's
amio.
it.
Hold on. I'll tell
Let's see if they list what
That's
the
It's a slow burn. It's a lager. Oh, I'm
There you
sorry.
go.
So Hammer and Ale Imperial IPA is oh god, and I don't know if I got it. My Untap locks all the time now.
See, John, you and I are going to have a problem on Friday
right.
at Yacht Rock because what do they serve there craft wise? I don't think they serve anything craft.
They don't really have anything.
Okay, so Hammer and Ale Imperial IPA is listed as 0 IBU, which is absolute bullshit. It means they just didn't enter something.
They didn't enter something, right? They didn't put it in.
Right. It's actually 100, and
they forgot the 1-0.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Well, they put 1-0 and it just cycles down to 2, so they left those 2 digits and it's 0.
So what beers are you bringing to Yacht Rock?
I'm not bringing anything because I'm not. There's really not a place to tailgate. So
you can't really. It's
true.
We're having dinner on the boardwalk with some folks, and then we're just gonna walk over to the.
But the day after, John.
Probably actually thinking about going to Taka first. Actually, we're going to.
Oh, nice.
Sushi first, and then just walk all the way down Cookman.
I have reservations at where do I have reservations at? One of McLuhan's restaurants on the boardwalk.
Oh right, yeah, sure.
Iron Shark, whatever. Is that it?
I forget what it's called.
Iron Whale. Iron Whale.
Yeah.
So Johnny, bringing any Coastal on Saturday for us?
The 3 of us will be. I will let you know that the 3 of us will actually definitely be drinking some Coastal Brewworks in the parking lot of Citi Field on Saturday.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're bringing the Cherokee?
What's that?
You bringing the Cherokee?
Not bringing the Cherokee. Not bringing the Cherokee. The Cherokee is getting fixed because I got rear-ended 2.5 weeks ago in Neptune.
You never told us that.
I didn't. The 2.5 months, the Grand Cherokee is getting a new transmission because
I remember that.
Five
you told
year
me that story.
Yeah, 5 year, 100,000 mile warranty.
Right.
At 5 years and 1 month, and
5.1.
Yeah, the trans goes. So $5,500 for a transmission. We have it back 2 weeks, and I get rear-ended in Neptune. So
it's probably one of those. It's probably one of those damn restaurant lobbyists.
There you go. Yeah, right. They sought me out and just ran into it.
That's right.
But
they're doing some research. Went to a brewery, didn't have anything to eat.
Didn't have anything to eat.
Yeah.
They were. I was coming down 35. So maybe they were coming from Kane now. Okay. I'm just kidding.
Who's getting arrested by one of you? Because I keep hearing sirens.
Dave. It's Dave.
Oh no. So my mic picks up everything, and I live in Union City, so there's always some siren going off at some point.
All right, just it was going on for a while. I figured somebody was outside the door getting popped.
No, and it's funny because the thing is, I didn't even hear it. I tuned it out, and that's actually one of the lower ones. If the fire department has to come this direction, no one will hear any of us. And John can attest to this because they come right down the road, 1 block over,
and they usually slow down as they pass Dave's window too, just to give a little extra effort, right?
Oh, they love it.
They hit the wind up too, not just the electronic. They hit the wind up too as they pass by.
Every now and then they squirt our windows with the booster hoses.
There you go.
That's nice.
Yeah, it'd be cool. No, they don't do that. But it
You
gets.
see the water just straight stream right in Dave's face. That's great.
Oh man, those booster guns are fun though, aren't they?
I know. But anyway, no. So, but the it was actually a company vehicle that hit me. So the company's insurance, they're paid for everything. It's fine. So we'll have the rental. We'll have the rental there.
Okay.
It's a Chevy Equinox. So
nice.
Cool.
So they had to give a comparable.
Now, here's the question though for Saturday. What time are you guys getting there?
As early as possible. No, I heard this the other day. So it's a 4:10 game. I heard 3:30 is the ceremony.
Yes. That's
so
correct.
we should go in by like 3.
Right.
So
get there at least by 1.
I would say by 1 the latest, if not a little before.
Yeah, my plan was to leave here by 11 to get out there, and I think I'm going to cut through the city instead of going Staten Island, Brooklyn, past JFK and taking the cross. I think I'm
go
just
up
going to
and
go
cut
up
through
to
the
Lincoln,
city. Yeah.
Midtown.
John loves the Midtown Tunnel.
Oh yeah,
he does. I'm not actually joking. That's not. He loves taking the Midtown Tunnel. We're probably going to take the 7 in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be bringing some.
So you get the
stuff
7 from Union City? That's pretty good.
No, we're going to take.
I didn't realize
take the bus.
Extended it to Union City.
Take the bus into Port Authority. walk the tunnel down to the 7 and take the 7 in.
Nice.
They used to have a ferry from Staten Island that would drop you off at the marina, and then you could walk up to when it was Shea. They got rid of that ferry. It was the best though, because you could park. It was a 30-minute ride. You didn't have to worry about any traffic, and then it was 3/4 of a mile or whatever from the marina.
Well, the ferry's still from I guess it's Belford or the Atlantic Highlands. You could still take that ferry that goes to the marina. That one's still there.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Oh, really? That's not the C Street. That would be the Belford one then.
It's the Belford one, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the Belford one.
Yep, it's still there. But, and ironically, they've been talking about this for 2 years, and I think it's actually finally happening, but it's going to be at least another year or so before it goes in. But in Belmar down here, they're actually putting in a high-speed C Streak from Belmar that goes to the city, and there's going to be one from Belmar that goes, according to the plans, is going to go to the marina out at City Field.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's great.
I literally could technically walk to City Field from here.
Well, you can walk anywhere if you've got the time.
Well,
that's true.
Too,
except maybe Australia.
Walk without much effort. How's that?
But do people, to those who are listening who don't know, what's going on Saturday?
Yes.
Yes.
They're retiring Keith Hernandez as number 17. So this is
and you got 3 Mets fans sitting
right here. The 3 of us will be there.
Yep.
And from what I hear, the second spitter may show up.
Oh, is that right?
Do they have
McDowell? It'd be good.
Well, Jerry's definitely going to be there. You know that. There's no way Seinfeld's not going to be in that building that day. So.
No, without a doubt. I it's so funny. I know so many Met fans that are going to the game that are telling me where they're sitting and this and that, whatever. I'm like, who's not going? It seems like everybody that I know is actually going to be there, which is great.
What's interesting, this is the first time Carrie's going to be at Citi Field. And she's like, well, do we have good seats? I'm like, seats? No. You go, you say hi to your seats, and that's the last time you see them usually.
Right.
We might be in their seats for the ceremony.
Yeah.
But after that, you can see the game from anywhere.
I'll be sitting for the ceremony.
Yep.
I will probably score the first inning, maybe 2 in my book. And then I'm going to get up and I'm going to go have a couple beers. I might go down. I'm going to eat. I'll probably go down to the
oh no, I may be upstairs at the Italian Sandos up.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I'm going out on the Shea Bridge to the beer town.
Oh yeah, you got to go to Beer Town.
I'm going to go to Beer Town and then over to probably later in the day. I may actually take part in maybe the Jim Beam bourbon bar over there on.
Oh, that's a possibility too. Yeah, because she'd asked me, she's like, "Oh, are we all sitting together?" I'm like, "Doesn't matter." Citi Field, it does not matter where you sit.
No.
You don't.
There's not a bad seat in the place, and you could stand anywhere too, and
you really just don't sit. You just watch the game from wherever you happen to be at the time as you want to.
And from what I heard, weather-wise, it's actually supposed to be very nice.
Why did you say? Please don't jinx it.
I'm knocking on. I just knocked on wood. We're good.
You good? I've got wood here. Yeah. Another one of my favorite places to go.
I didn't need to know that, Dave.
Down here. Sylvester Graham would be so upset with me right now.
Yes, he would.
But another
Monsignor Sylvester Graham.
Yeah, I don't think it's Monsignor.
Oh, whatever it is.
But also, getting down behind the bullpens is a lot of fun.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I actually almost got in trouble there once. We were back there, and someone got up to warm up, and a couple picnic tables over. This one guy goes, "Who's this guy?" And I yelled across to him, "Oh, that's the player to be named later." Not knowing that that's only a chain link fence and they can hear you. So the pitcher warming up stops mid wind up, turns around, and goes, "Dude, really?" Meanwhile, the catcher has fallen over laughing his ass off.
Right.
And my buddy's like, "Dude, we need to get out of here."
That's pretty funny.
Before they throw us out of here, we need to get out of here.
What's your third beer there?
Jersey.
Come on, we got to keep it Jersey.
Got to keep it Jersey.
No, John's been keeping a Pensy.
I've been keeping a Pensy. All right. Well, you're both drinking Jersey beers now.
This is peer pressure, and
I'm coming home. I'm gonna drink a Jersey beer.
Nice.
Okay. What Jersey beer are you gonna drink?
Well, Al and his
cheers, Al.
Cheers.
His
first beer was a Building Sandcastles. Dave, your second beer was a Trojan Seahorse.
I wish I could clink right between those.
I'm gonna have an awkward tan lines.
Nice.
There you go. I've heard that's a good. I hear that is the Bentley of
Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce.
We went with Rolls Royce. So there you go. But
nice.
So there you go.
I hope to be drinking some of those on Saturday.
You will be drinking some of them on Saturday.
I heard Steely Dan really enjoyed them.
Steely Dan really enjoyed them on Thursday.
Nice.
They really, really
Nice.
Donald Fagen really did.
Yeah.
But it was that was a good show. Fagen never disappoints. And if he does do a residency like he used to do for a while in the Beacon this October, I will definitely go there because one of the residencies album wise I haven't seen is Royal Scam, and I wanna.
Oh, has he ever done Kamakiriad in that residency?
No, he never did. He only does older stuff. He
only does the Steely Dan stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Kamakiriad is Steely Dan, but it's newer.
No, that's a Fagen album.
Kamakiriad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. But it's still it's still later anyway. It's even after Nightfly. He stops at Nightfly. Nightfly is the newest album that they do there,
and that's still like what
82,
early 80s. Yeah.
82. I saw Nightfly. It was actually really good.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, it was really good. So cheers with awkward tan lines. I'm drinking it in a
cheers
glass there. There you go. Cheers. Oh, it really is the Rolls Royce. It's very tasty. You'll find out on Saturday.
Yes, I
not before. There it is, right there.
I'm looking forward to it.
You got to bring some building sandcastles too, because
I'll bring some.
I haven't had it since the launch, and I love that beer.
There you go.
I mean, I love Trojan Seahorse.
She's got a cute tush, doesn't she?
Okay,
not bad. Right?
For a cartoon.
I'm not bad. I was drawn that way.
There you got
exactly.
beat me to it out.
There you go.
Oh man, but yeah, as much as I love Trojan Seahorse, building sandcastles, and I really need another one before you change the hopping.
We're not. Notice on that. We're not. We're changing it at most seasonally.
Okay.
So it's been taken off so much with this particular hop blend, the Sabra and the Motueka. It's we brewed it again already. When we brewed it a third time, it's still going to be that. We're considering changing it seasonally. So maybe like the first October brew will be like a fall type mix, and then there'll be a winter one, a spring one that's more floral, and then back.
Or leave the name Building Sandcastles this hop profile, and then start another.
Well, that's the other thought too. We're gonna see. We're playing it by ear. We'll make a decision come September, and then we'll go from there.
Because Building Sandcastles,
it's a great beer.
Al just had one at the top of the show. It's a fantastic beer.
Yeah, it's a great way. It's a great way to ease into a day of drinking without getting overwhelmed. You can have 3 or 4 of them and not feel completely. I mean, even the other beer, Trojan Seahorse,
the sucker,
does not taste like an 8%.
No, it does
not. That goes down.
Yes, it does. It's a dangerous beer.
Yes.
But so, and then Awkward Town is only 5%, 5.3%. It's 5.3%. Nice. But it's 90+% Weyermann Vienna malt, a little bit of Munich, and just a little bit of Carapils just to give it a little bit more of a head retention. But it's all, there's no base malt in it. It's all German. It's all German Vienna malt and a little bit of Munich. That's it. So again, the Rolls Royce. Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. Absolutely, I agree with him.
There you go. So Matt just said, as far as Trojan Seahorse goes, he says, "I'm not going to try to fix what isn't broken." Yes.
He's talking about Trojan Seahorse or Building?
No, I'm sorry, Building Sandcastles.
I was going to say he's talking about Building Sandcastles. Yes, please leave it this way. It's an amazing beer.
It's delicious.
Yep,
it's delicious.
So, one of the best new beers that's come out of Jersey in at least a week.
Yeah, but that's soon to end.
It's soon to end.
Exactly. So we got to do something about that. We got to do.
What you guys got to do is you got to dig your heels in, survive the storm, watch as all your competition goes away to Pennsylvania, and then if we ever get around to getting them to change all the legislation, you'll be set. You'll be nice and set and pretty.
Well, that's the other thing too. I mean, just based on the fact that we chose Coastal Brewworks,
and I'll never ever call you.
Can't go anywhere. We can go south or north, but we can't go west.
You can go to Maine.
We can go to Maine. We can go to
because there's
Delaware or Virginia. Or
there's no competition in Maine for good beer.
Sure. No, none at all.
None.
Zero. No, I haven't had a good Maine beer in an hour.
Yeah. Good. You mean great Maine beer?
Great. Yeah. No, of course, and we've had a lot of them on the show too.
Oh, we have.
So yeah. So anyway, all right. Hey, You know what? We're talking about summer. We're talking about baseball. We're talking about summer stage. Al and I are going on Friday. Yacht Rock review.
I was there last weekend.
Great band, by the way. Yeah, just if you enjoy that,
when I first heard
you enjoy channel, was it 311 on Sirius?
That's right.
Yeah.
the first time I heard
stays on in my car all the time. I mean,
the first time I heard the tour,
yeah,
I was driving Brian Cass.
Okay.
Down to Hunapoo.
Okay.
And I had my iPod.
Mm-hmm.
My iPod was one of those, the spin wheel. It was not a touch screen.
Where you just, I got you.
So he gets in the car. He grabs my iPod.
Wait, hold on. This is about 20 years ago you're talking about, right?
Almost, right? That's probably when I got the iPod. It's like, oh my God, 5th generation. This thing's ancient. I'm like, shut up, millennial. And so he's going through it. It's like, he's going through and he's listing off. He goes, you got Steely Dan, Seals and Croft, America. He goes, oh my God, this is the greatest iPod ever. It's full of yacht rock. I'm like, the hell's yacht rock?
There you go. Nice. Very good, Brian. Brian, cheers. Kudos for that one. That was
yes.
Good.
So he told me what yacht rock was, and we drove all the way to Jacksonville in one day, powered by yacht rock.
There you go.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yes.
But they're a cover band. They're a cover band of 12, 15 pieces.
Yeah.
All together. I mean, they have a couple of female singers.
Damn, nice.
Yeah. So last year it was the Men in Tight Jeans tour. So they all wore these really tight jeans, and they're all in shape. I don't think there's a fat guy in the group.
Oh, then we can't. I can't be in it.
Right. They're phenomenal, and the covers that they do are it's awesome. It's just a fun event. Everybody's dressed in like a captain's hat. There's all these like Captain and Tennille type people. I'm waiting for Captain Stubing.
Do they do sailing? Do they do sailing? They have to.
They do Christopher Cross. I don't know if they do.
I don't think they do sailing. Ride Like the Wind, they definitely
Ride
do.
Like the Wind.
But sailing, isn't sailing the song that gave the genre the name?
That's a good. You know what?
Good question.
But
I really think it was
before that, because they do. Oh my God, what do? They do. Oh God. See, this is what happens when you drink. You can't remember nothing.
You can't remember shit.
Actually, if I've had like one or two, my memory actually opens up. After about 7. Yeah.
No. Steal Away. They do
Steal Away.
Steal Away.
Robbie Dupree. Yeah.
Right, Robbie Dupree. They do. Oh God! Wow, my brain is shot right now. Who's the other popular one they do? They've been playing on Yacht Rock all the time. It's oh God, you're the wow. See, I shouldn't drink.
You're the only woman.
Problem. Yes. Who is that? That's
Ambrosia.
Yeah. Right. It's a lot of Ambrosia, a lot of different, all over the place. But they're really, really good, and the whole crowd is just into it the entire night. It's phenomenal.
How could you not be?
It can't be.
The tickets are $25.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You can't beat it.
No.
You can't beat it.
We should have got tickets
For a summer night out. It's not sold out.
No.
Nope.
No.
I need to go talk to someone after this.
I think you should.
I'm in.
Put it this way: it's worth the aggravation of trying to get down to the shore to see the show.
And Dave, you can take the train too, by the way.
Right, that's true.
Could.
I am.
Well, you're going. Yeah.
I'm going. I'm going 2 stops, but that's
you're not going that far.
I could walk, but I'll be sweaty by the time I get there, so I'm taking the train. So, anyway, Edward Meyer just commented in.
Eddie,
nice score on the Trojan Seahorse, Samurai.
How's retirement going there, Eddie? So the story behind that is I was at ShopRite Liquors here in Lyndhurst. Mm-hmm. I originally put it up as Lundhurst because I didn't have my glasses on, but Lyndhurst is
the U looks like a Y. It's fine.
It was the last Coastal Brew Works that they had.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I'm sitting there in the store going, oh, my God, I've got the last one. I'm so lucky. I've got the last Coastal Brew Works Trojan Seahorse. Get up to the register. It's like, this is the last one you've got. Now, mind you, I've also got a couple of other beers that I may have taken the last ones of, but hey, they sponsor the show. I got to talk about.
Exactly. Ed said excellent. There you go.
Yes, but yeah, he is a rock climber.
There you go.
He's one of those that will do you climb up, and then there's the overhang, so you got to hang off the overhang to get up and around it.
Nice.
Yeah, this guy's finger strength.
Yeah,
I already felt just hearing you say that.
I'm standing watching Outfall, so it doesn't matter.
Al just fell 2 feet and twisted an ankle.
I fall putting my pants on, so please.
Same.
I want to see me climbing a rock wall.
Yeah, you want to see how many times it takes me to get my foot through my underwear?
There you go. Let's not go there, okay? All right.
Like, damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
Welcome to our 50s. So,
That's right. Sadly.
Don't get old, people. Don't get old. Die young.
Exactly.
Right.
And Eddie's laughing. There you go. All right. All right. But anyway,
See, but the first time that happens, you laugh. Right. You go, oh yeah, whatever. I fell upstairs, and both my mother-in-law and wife were like, "What happened?" They thought it was an earthquake. I'm like, "No, fat guy falling. It's okay." But the second time it happens, then you start going, "Oh my God, I am old. Jesus, what's going on with me?" Yeah, and booze has nothing to do with it. You're completely sober, like you're getting dressed for the day, and you fall. That's not good.
Right.
Oh, and the worst part is when you got a beer belly, tying your shoelaces.
Oh yeah.
Get a deep breath because it's going to take.
Hold on. That's what chairs are for.
No. Get a chair. You're falling over.
No. I'm not sitting in the chair.
I don't see samurai doing a yoga pose to try and tie his shoe. I don't picture that.
If my shoelaces become undone in the city, I wait until I find
It's a good song, by the way.
One of the host stands, right?
Come Undone from Duran Duran. But that's besides the point.
That's a great song. Actually, I prefer Come Undone by Pop and Termin Overdrive.
Okay.
Right? Is it?
We did.
Please come undone.
And I was, that is right. Yeah, right. Ben, I was in Brother. We had a song "Come Undone" too. That was pretty good too.
Yeah. Anyway, but both are great songs. But no, I wait for those the fire hose connections because they stick out of the wall and they're just a perfect friggin' height to put your foot on and get the shoe tied and not lose your breath. Standpipe.
It's called a standpipe firefighter.
Yeah. I was not a firefighter in an urban setting, John.
I'm sorry.
I was a firefighter at a university.
There you go. There's standpipes at universities.
Not in Rutgers, there were in of the day.
All right. Anyway.
Not on Cook campus. Not on Livingston campus.
Oh, all right. Fine. Fair enough. All right. On that note,
we're Bush campus. Shuckle as you need to.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Let's breeze to our top three list. All right. Top threes. Obviously, we do a top three list every week. Our top threes this week is top 3 favorite summer songs. Top 3 favorite summer songs. Obviously, not beer related, but it's summer now.
It's 2 weeks in a row we've not gone beer related, but that's all right.
It's all right. And we were going back and forth. We were debating whether we wanted to do sports related with Al on the show or songs or song related with Al on the show.
But so, either or
would have been fine. And I actually have a sports one for Al afterwards, but that'll be like a supplementary one. We'll just
and it's my fault we didn't go with the sports one because my experience in what John wanted to do for the top 3 is pretty limited. It's the top 3 favorite places stadiums you've seen a baseball game. Mm-hmm. And I think I've 5 baseball.
We'll just talk about that afterwards. But in any event, tonight's top 3 list, official top 3 list, is top 3 favorite summer songs. So let's let Al kick it off and give us his top 3 favorite summer songs.
All right, so my first would be "Hot Fun in the Summertime" by Sly and the Family Stone.
Is this 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3?
Does it matter?
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. So that's number 3. My second one is actually a Donna Summer song, "Bad Girls." That's a great. It's just a great tune, and it just reminds me of disco and skating at a skating rink back in Staten Island in the day when I actually used to skate. And then finally, my third one is the Boys of Summer from Don Henley.
Nice.
Nice. Or the Atari's version of it.
The Atari's version is good.
I love that.
I prefer the Henley one because I actually met Don Henley once.
I prefer the Don Henley version too.
And
I didn't meet Don Henley, but I prefer the Don Henley version.
I got to smoke some awesome weed with Don Henley. And
I'm officially jealous.
I was quite stoned, and it was very good. And we had a nice
little conversation. Sly in the Family Stone?
No, what's that?
You just foreshadowed one of my picks.
Yeah.
Oh, no, his pick. Never mind.
It was his pick, yeah.
Nice one.
There you go. So, Hot Fun in the Summertime, Bad Girls, and Boys of Summer.
Right.
Yep.
Cool. Dave.
In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry.
Mungo Jerry. It's his 3, 2, 1.
Really,
you never do anything.
There's really no order here. It really depends upon the mood, because in the summertime, it's a fun song. It kind of gets you to move, but in a kind of a weird way, right?
Oh yeah, it's a great song.
Oh, love that song. Summertime by Kool and the Gang. No lyrics, just horns, just funk. Gotta love that stuff.
Okay.
And maybe those are 2 and 3, and number 1 for me, Janis Joplin's
Go for it.
Summertime.
Oh, Summertime. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is because she is wailing. And it's funny because we were talking about this the other day. Listen to every other female voice that has been out there, and the newer female voices will cover them.
Nice.
Has anyone ever covered Janis Joplin?
I think one band I was in, we had a female singer.
Not you.
We did Mercedes Benz a couple of times in between songs, but
But yeah, who, and you know why? Because they're like, hey, you should cover this song by Joplin, and the female singer's going, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, not even gonna try. not even gonna try. Right.
Right.
Every other great female voice, you'll find a cover of someone doing their song. Mm-hmm. Janis Joplin? No.
Nope.
You don't see it.
Or not good. Not good.
Not good.
Right.
I'd be hard pressed to even name one that's even not good, other than maybe a local band.
Gotcha.
Right.
All right.
It's a fair
right.
point.
Fair enough. All right.
Johnny?
Mine. I'm going to give one honorable mention, only because
you notice I had no honorable mentions.
I know you didn't. It was just out. I had to go with the top 3 that I did, but I can't not mention this, and it's has a lot to do with the fact that we're going to see Yacht Rock review on Friday.
Okay.
Summer Breeze from Seals and Crofts.
All right.
Oh, Seals and Crofts, not the typo negative version of it?
No, not the typo negative. No. Or not the Bernie Williams version of it either. Because he did a jazz guitar version of Summer Breeze.
I remember when Typo Negative was a thrash band called Carnivore.
Before
they were Typo Negative.
Before they were Typo Negative.
You want to talk about chaos and mayhem? The guitarist got hit with a beer at L'Amour's. The lead singer, Pete, cursed the guy out, jumped into the crowd, beat the daylights out of him, and jumped back on stage.
I finished the show.
Fantastic.
Well,
kind of like Joey Chestnut the other day, putting that guy in a headlock.
That was great. His excuse was, I didn't want to drop the hot dogs. So he figured, I got in a headlock, I keep eating.
Well, if you're going to have an honorable mention, I'll throw out one honorable mention because they talk about the Heat and Smooth off the Santana Supernatural album.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway,
there you go.
So let's go with your 3, Johnny.
All right, so here's my 3. Number 3. I go 3, 2, 1. Number 3, Summer Nights from Van Halen.
Oh,
okay,
song.
Yeah,
great song.
Okay, it literally it came out in 86. Yeah, it came out in 86. It was the perfect summer song. I think I had that cassette in my car in 86 until it broke.
Yeah.
How many times did you have to put the big pen in there?
And honestly, even though the whole 5150 album was great, I think I rewound, especially that summer. I think I kept rewinding Summer Nights because that was the first song on side 2.
And it's got a great build. It builds really. It's slow, and then it kicks. And when he starts going, Sammy, it's
it's good.
Great song.
So there you go. Number 2, Subdivisions from Rush.
Summer song.
It's a summer song for me.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. The last line in the second verse is somewhere out of the memories of lighted streets on quiet nights.
Yes.
And growing up in the suburbs,
walking around the streets
in the summer, going back and forth from friends' houses in high school, lighted streets on quiet nights. It just like no cars around. The streets are lighted. You're walking around. That just meant it meant a lot to me. So there you go.
And also a caveat: you can't put together a top 3 music list without John throwing a Rush reference in. It's going to happen.
There you go.
Number 1.
And my number 1, Jersey Girl from Bruce Springsteen.
Oh yeah.
Because down the shore, everything's all right.
Everything's all right.
Everything's all right.
There you go.
Except for the traffic.
Well, once you're down the shore, everything's all right.
Once you're there,
going to the shore, everything.
Or trying to get home.
Yeah, but I live down the shore right now, so
Yes, so you're good.
There you go. Anyway, so there you go. Those are my top three. And honestly, in any of those spots, you could probably pretty much insert any Bruce Springsteen song, summer-wise, in there because not any Bruce Springsteen song, but a lot of older stuff you can.
Yeah, Philadelphia doesn't fit that.
Philadelphia does not fit. No, it doesn't.
No, but his early '80s stuff certainly fits. Summer.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then
I give the guy a lot of credit. He's in phenomenal shape. His tour is going to be kick-ass next year. And I urge people, if you've never seen Springsteen before, and I'm not the biggest Springsteen fan in the world, go see him once live. It will change you. Yeah, he is an amazing performer. Yeah, amazing performer. Live, he's amazing.
And it's interesting because at Summer Stage last weekend, we went and saw Nathaniel Ratliff. Mm-hmm. He did Asbury Park. And I'm like, you're not. You're in. I'm sorry. He did Atlantic City. I was confused. He did Atlantic City. We're in Asbury Park, where Springsteen made his name.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you have the balls to play a Springsteen song about Jersey. And he nailed it.
I think he was thinking maybe he'd come up on stage because listen,
actually, I'll tell you one thing. Everybody there thought Springsteen was going to come on stage because every phone went up on record.
Right.
And I'm sitting there, and you know how it works. Once the first verse was over and Springsteen didn't jump up, you're like, he's not coming.
Yeah,
put your phones down. Put your phones down.
Exactly. Well, he was busy. I'm sure he was busy at another Paul McCartney concert at that point. So
it's very possible.
He's following him around. So
yeah, him and Coldplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how I know you're gay?
What?
You remember that the 40-year-old virgin? One of the outtakes was Seth Rogen,
right,
and Paul Rudd. They're playing video games, and it's all you now
ranking each other out.
Yeah. And this is all improvised by them, and they're playing. You know how I know you're gay? And you know how I know you're gay? No, how? You like Coldplay?
Yeah. Here, fun fact, and I'm Paul Rudd,
yeah,
and Donald Fagen,
yep,
born in the same hospital.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. There you go. In Passaic, New Jersey.
Passaic, that's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Very cool.
There you go. A few years apart, but
a few years apart, yeah.
A few.
Well, yeah. Paul Rudd's like what, 50-something? He still looks 35.
Paul Rudd is 53 years old. Paul Rudd is.
Are you kidding me?
Paul Rudd's 53. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he's in his 30s, early 40s.
Paul Rudd's 53.
Pops.
Him and Tom Cruise, they must go to the same place because Cruise does not look 60.
Well, that's the Scientology, man. That's the aliens.
Oh, well, he's what, level 87 now or whatever it is.
Is he Grand Wizard yet?
I think he's taking over for L. Ron Hubbard at this point.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get from jumping up and down on a couch on a talk show.
There you go.
A maniac.
Yeah, but give the guy credit. I mean, they could have just as easily released Top Gun Maverick, streaming and whatever, and he's like, nope, we're going to hold on to this, and we're going to put it in a movie theater. Mm-hmm. And you know what? He was... Damn if he wasn't right.
Yeah, he was right.
Think about it.
Well, he knows the following.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He knows everyone's got the need.
But it's
the need for speed.
His work ethic, you have to give him credit. The guy is relentless on a film. You may not agree with his, religious beliefs.
You may think he's an absolute nut job.
Yeah.
But there's so many nut jobs in the television, movie, and music industry.
There's so many nut jobs everywhere. I mean, if they're doing, here's the thing.
And three right here.
Well, of course, right? But it comes right down to it, though. If what they're doing, if what a nut job, any one of us are not, but if a nut job, if what they're doing is great, who cares whatever else is
right.
they do?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're not going to see Top Gun Maverick because Tom Cruise is a Scientologist. You're going
unless you are a Scientologist.
Well, whatever, but still,
it's the only reason anybody ever saw Battlefield Earth.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but you know what? But think about that. Tom Cruise, John Travolta. Tom Cruise, his career keeps going this way. Travolta, I mean, since like early 2000s, his career has not been successful.
But does he really care?
No, he might not. He might not. But I would think.
What was the linchpin there for Travolta, though? Was it Scientology, or was it calling Adina Menzel Adele Dazeem?
That might have been it. It might have been Planet Earth.
That could have been that.
Battlefield Earth, whatever.
It might be one of the
Battlefield,
greatest moments at the Oscars, aside from the slap. I mean,
Right.
the slap thing was hilarious because I was just
Actually,
like,
as far as I'm concerned, one of the greatest. No, that was a Grammys. Never mind. Done.
but Adele Dazeem is fantastic because everyone just was like, "What's he talking about? What
is he stoned?
Yeah,
Is he on drugs? What? Yeah, exactly." So,
Why do we have a hockey background all of a sudden, Johnny?
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I was looking for a picture.
hey, Dave, it's because we're skating on
Yeah,
thin ice.
Thin ice.
Oh, Jethro Tull. Nice. I like that.
There you go. I gotta find this. No,
At least he didn't mess up the way he did at the
there it is.
the beer dinner.
I picked it right. Oh, stop it. This
That was classic.
This was the
Own
best,
that one,
this was the
Johnny. Own
best
it.
meme. This was the best meme out of that slap at the Oscars. Right there.
There we go. Is that Chris
That's
Rock
great.
and Obama? It's like Chris Rock and
Rock
Obama.
playing sax and
Obama. No,
Will Smith playing stand-up bass. You gotta love it. Anyway, I just had to find that one, and it was on the other in this setup or whatever. We have the craft beer show and we have the sports show, and I knew I had that one on the sports show, but I
That's why we got the hockey background.
really quick. I forgot that switching from the craft beer show pictures to the
wait a second. You guys talk about something other than basketball and football
and baseball and hockey. We talk about all four.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's get on with it.
All right. Let's get on with it. Right. Exactly. So really quick though, speaking of sports, really quick with Al.
This is the top three John
This
won.
was the top three that I wanted to do.
And I thank him for going with mine because I'm not as experienced in this particular top three.
Okay.
Top three favorite Major League Baseball ballparks that we've seen a game in.
Ooh.
I've got number one and then nothing else.
Yeah, see, my ballpark experience with baseball is not as extensive as other
Johnny's,
sports. So for me, it would be the original Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
Shea.
Right.
I mean, it's not really in any particular order. It's just the original Yankee Stadium, Shea, and probably Citi Field. I mean, I've been to Miami to see the garbage.
Oh, so you're one of 15 people that were there.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Robbie was in the middle of nowhere when I covered the Yankees Marlins in the World Series back in 2003. I mean, it's a joke.
See, my number one supersedes every other ballpark. I mean, Citi Field. I love Citi Field. I can't wait to get back there this weekend. It's as we've talked about. It's one of those places. It's so much fun. You don't really sit in your seat unless you've got great seats.
No, but you know what's funny? Well, I actually do have really good. I paid a lot of money for these seats for Saturday, so I may sit in the seats for a little bit because they're right behind the first base dugout.
No, I'm upstairs, so I'm gonna be a couple innings and I'm walking around.
I think I'm in one.
See you, Dave, and I will see you downstairs in like the fourth or fifth inning.
I think I'm in the Pepsi porch.
That's fair. That's
fair. No.
No,
it actually is in fair ground, so it's in fair territory.
But the thing about the differences between Citi Field and the new Yankee Stadium, the new Yankee Stadium still feels like it's antiseptic.
I heard it. It's
clearly antiseptic.
It's a feel of a mausoleum, a museum at best.
Yeah, it's right.
This is how I describe the new Yankee Stadium. It's an office with a ballpark in the middle of it.
Yeah, yep. I would agree with that. The original Yankee Stadium was it was warm and inviting if you were a Yankees fan. Mm-hmm. It was hostile enemy territory if you liked any other team than the Yankees.
Right.
And they let you know about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like Shea was a dump. I mean, as much as I'm a Met fan and I love going there.
But it was our
dump. No, I got it. It was
it's just like the Islanders and their stadium.
But I'll tell you what, the Coliseum though, that place had 9,000-10,000 people in the building and it wasn't sold out. That place felt like it had 50,000 people because of the way the ceilings were set up, the low ceiling. Yeah. It carried noise really well. It was great to see a concert. Mm-hmm. That building shook when stuff was going on. That was the cool thing about it. I mean, yeah, again, they called it a barn and it was our barn and all that other stuff. But the Coliseum had a unique feel to it. It was almost like, it's a bad term, but it almost like a warm hug. If you were an Islander fan, it kind of just you embraced it.
Right.
Yankee Stadium was that place when the Red Sox fans came in or Orioles fans, whatever it was. Man, you knew about it, and to get out of there was kind of like, oh my god, you'd have like an anxiety attack trying to get out because it was so crowded.
Right.
The hallways and stuff.
Yeah.
Shea was just this wide open, whatever, and like nothing flowed right. There was no. It was just
it was horrible. It was horrible.
It was a scattering of bleachers in a field.
That's all it was.
Exactly.
It was literally a bleachers and a circular bleachers all the way up. Yeah.
You're walking up like a straight angle to get to your seat. You don't know if you're going to tip back.
Well, the old Yankee Stadium too, and you got up to the upper seats, even behind home plate. It was always like this walking up. Yeah.
Right. But in Shea, it felt like the outfit. I remember Game 2, 86 World Series. Was in the very last section of right field, and we were way up top. And I remember at one point walking up, and I wasn't drinking yet. I mean, I was having a few at the game.
Oh, you didn't get lightheaded walking those stairs.
But yeah, but like, right, I was getting a nosebleed just trying to like get up the stairs. It was, you knew like if you came out of there,
right,
you were going down. Veteran Stadium had that feel too in Philly.
But Veteran Stadium was definitely circular.
Yes,
and definitely hostile.
It was a bowl. It was just
Well, it's Philly.
I mean, it was hot. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand, right? But at that point,
well, let's face it, they had to put a courtroom in the stadium because people were savages. I mean,
more for the Eagles than the Phillies.
That was the claw, right? The claw had the
claw. Yeah. But it's funny. The drunk tank at MetLife was far different than the drunk tank at Giant Stadium for all the Giants and Jets games that I used to cover. But the best part of MetLife when certain teams came in, Giants, Cowboys, you knew there were going to be brawls.
Yep.
Jets, Patriots, it was absolute insanity. This one guy, I remember because the drunk tank was in between where the visiting locker rooms were and the home locker rooms. The Jets had the locker room on the other side of the stadium. The Giants were closer to the drunk tank, so it depended on which team was playing and how far you had to walk, which team won. So inevitably, you'd have to walk past that drunk tank. And there was a Jets-Patriots game one day, and so the Patriots locker room was closer to the drunk tank. And this guy, he's got a Patriots jersey. It's ripped, it's torn, whatever. The guy is bleeding profusely, and he's yelling at the detective. He called my girlfriend this and this, and the detective's like, "You should have just ducked when he threw a punch. What do you want me to tell you, man? That's it. You're going in. You're gonna see the judge. It's over. Good stuff. Oh man, so many fun stories.
But Citi Field was one of mine, but my number one.
Good.
And it's like 1, 2, and 3, basically. I got the opportunity to see a game at Wrigley. And the thing about Wrigley is you see it on television all the time. You see the ivy, you see the buildings out in the outfield with everybody sitting on the roofs watching.
Sure.
And you go in, and it's there. You come in at ground level underneath bleachers. You got to walk up into the bleachers. All the concessions are down at ground level under the bleachers. You walk up into the bleachers, you find your seat. But as soon as you come up those stairs, and then you see that outfield, like, oh my God, it's real.
Right.
Holy crap, this is real.
Field of Dreams.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there, and I was there so long ago, and we're like one seat back from the overhang of the mezzanine. So the 7th inning stretch, we can lean forward and see Harry Carey leaning out of the broadcast booth, singing "Bring Me Out to the Ball Game." And I will never forget that, because it wasn't much longer after that when he passed. And I remember when he passed thinking, I had the opportunity and the honor to be at a game and see Harry Carey sing that song.
There you go.
That's cool.
So that I don't know that it'll ever be topped. I don't know how you can top that.
There you go.
No, and that's why Wrigley should never change. It's like Fenway.
Yeah.
They've added some things and done a few things.
Fine.
Fenway has maintained that charm.
They should have never changed Yankee Stadium.
No, I agree.
Those are the 3 stadiums that should never have changed.
One
has, 2 haven't.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you my 3. I'm not. First of all, my number 1 ballpark. This isn't part of my top 3, by the way. All right, my number 1 ballpark.
Wait, what?
How is it going to not be?
I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain.
Yeah, Lucy, you need to explain, Lucy.
My number one ballpark to see a game in is Citi Field. There is no, as far as I'm concerned, there's no better ballpark to see a game in. There's no
Currently,
bad seat. There's so much to do there.
and see and
It's-
drink. And no matter where you are in the ballpark, you can see the game.
There is nothing better than Citi Field. Citi Field is the, as far as I'm concerned, the premier ballpark in all of Major League Baseball. All right, and old Yankee Stadium. It's just, it's old Yankee
History.
Stadium.
It's history.
It's history. It's history. What are you going to do? I remember as a kid, the first ballpark I ever saw a game in, first ballpark I ever saw a Major League Baseball game in, was Yankee Stadium.
Well, it's
All
like
right.
going. It's like going to the
And
original.
the same thing you said, walking out, seeing it. Oh my God, I'm actually at the Yankee Stadium.
But you remember, but you know what it is about Yankee Stadium?
I actually got a Reggie Jackson foul ball at that during batting practice at that game too. So,
but I got a Reggie bar the year after they won the World Series because that first game, the home opener, they gave everybody a Reggie bar.
Right,
and what did he do in his first at bat? Hit a home run.
Home run.
Everybody threw the Reggie bars on the field. I kept mine. I'm like, I want a candy.
I'm
keeping
keeping
it.
this. I want this.
None. You know, but the thing you remember the most about Yankee Stadium, though, the scoreboard,
and
the ads, Manufacturers Hanover. Like you remember all these old advertisements that were up.
I remember a lot of them at Giant Stadium too. Old.
But I also remember the arches over the scoreboard.
Yes,
the outfield, right?
Arches,
yeah, just right. But anyway, so I'm not including those two because they're givens. They're givens.
Okay. Okay.
Short of Citi Field and old Yankee Stadium, these are my three. My number three is Target Field in Minnesota. Okay. It's a great ballpark to see a field in. The Twins. It's a great ballpark to see a field in. It's a really, really cool experience. Really nice there. City in the background. It's really, really, really cool. Okay. Number two, Fenway Park. I love Boston. I
love Boston. I need to get there. It's on my bucket list.
I go to Boston 2-3 times a year. I just love the city of Boston. But Fenway Park, obviously it's the history. It's the history. Yeah. It's sitting in the seats. I've been in, as many as I've been on the tour at Fenway Park more than I've seen games at Fenway Park.
Here's the thing
I've been in the visitors dugout. I've been in the visitor locker room or whatever. I've been in the scoreboard. I've been in the scoreboard. I've been up on the green monster. Cool. It's cool. Just actually has a picture of me on the bullpen phone in the visitors dugout.
But here's the thing about Fenway and Wrigley. Mm-hmm. It was like this one time I got to go to the original Montreal Coliseum. Mm-hmm. The individuals that have played there, that history and knowing who has walked on that field.
That's a lot of what it's about, too. Absolutely.
So it's the only way that they trump Citi Field because it's too new.
Well, that's another thing I'm talking about the actual ballpark. That's why I'm talking about that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Is just that history behind the ballpark.
Sure,
that's one thing about a lot of these places is just what has happened there, who has played there. Sure. I mean, the old Yankee Stadium and Fenway, both Babe Ruth.
Absolutely. Babe Ruth.
And
Ted Williams in Boston.
Ted Williams, my God, right?
So anyway, Target Field's 3, Fenway Park's 2.
Number 1.
My number 1, honestly, my favorite ballpark to watch. What?
Not Three Rivers.
No. Well,
no, that's not why you're not wearing the.
My favorite ballpark to watch. No, not Three Rivers. Newer PNC Park. PNC Park in Pittsburgh. It is next to Citi Field. It is as far as I'm concerned, by far the best ballpark to watch a game in. It's amazing. It's a beautiful ballpark. The Pittsburgh in the background, looking at the Roberto Clemente Bridge going. If you're sitting, behind home plate or on the sides or whatever, looking out towards center field or whatever, seeing the Roberto Clemente Bridge going over, and Pittsburgh and downtown in the background. It's a beautiful ballpark to watch.
The only shame about them changing that ballpark is you don't have the Stargell seat anymore, do you?
No. But in Fenway, you do have the Ted Williams seat.
You do. But the Stargell seat, my God, that was holy God, that ball was crushed.
Yep. Yeah, the Ted Williams seat is still in Fenway Park.
That's pretty
good. As it should be.
And it should be. So anyway. All right. Well, that's that one.
That concludes the sports section.
That concludes the sports section of the
tonight's podcast.
Of tonight's craft beer podcast. So anyway. I'm glad we got to do that, though. That was awesome.
Oh, you got to do some sort of sports segment when you've got the voice of the Giants and Jets on ESPN on the show. Was it just the Giants?
No, still, it was both. I guarantee you, I will not be working. I haven't worked the last couple of seasons. I'm probably not going to be working again this season. So, locker room restrictions.
But you seriously have a voice for radio.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Not a face, but a voice. Yeah.
Right.
No, you don't have the face for it. You're too damn good looking to have the face for baby.
There you go.
Especially when you had the purple hair.
You've been drinking. Well, I had to go bold because the brown was starting to seep in. So I said, I don't feel like.
Yeah, brown and purple don't go well together.
No,
not at all.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
my niece yelled at me last night. She's like, "Why did you shave your head?" I'm like, "Because I didn't want to dye my hair." You should have just left it. I'm like, I didn't want to. She's like, "I don't like you anymore." I'm like, oh, okay.
She likes purple, did she?
You got to keep the niece happy.
There you go. Well, I got the picture of you and I at Icarus with the purple hair, so I'll have
That's
that.
true.
There you go.
That's true. Let me tell you something. That was a fun event.
That was
Lagerfest was great.
Well, why do you think I picked this up? Because listening to what you guys were talking about it.
That was a great beer.
Because this is with Conclave, right?
Yes. But I think Jason was very surprised at how big the turnout was. I don't think he was expecting as many people
because
as
it's loggers, and he's
but I think he was like, you know what, we're going to have a crowd, but I don't think he was expecting the consistent crowd that kept coming in because every time people were leaving, more people were coming in.
Yeah, it was
to kind of fill in the spots. So it was a consistent flow the whole day long.
Oh, speaking of Icarus, and John, we're going to go back to your stadiums here. Blue Claw Stadium. Shout out to Blue Claw Stadium over the weekend, who almost burned the damn stadium down shooting fireworks. Right? Good job, guys.
I love it.
Oh boy,
not
good. Not good.
No, not a good thing.
Let the professionals handle it. Don't do it yourself.
There you go.
Well, it gave the liquid FD something to do for the day.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because they had nothing else to do with everybody else burning stuff down. And,
Well, there was a meme that was floating around. You can take my fireworks away and prime with my cold dead fingers, which are lying over there.
Which are lying over there, right? Yeah,
there.
Another one of my favorite memes I saw was how do all these rednecks shooting off all these fireworks have the money for it when they're bitching about gas prices? Go Brendan.
I like the Kid Rock one. Leave a pack of Marlboro Reds and fireworks under the tree.
And Jack Daniels. And was it Bud Light or Jack Daniels? I saw
30-pack of Bud Light, yeah.
I saw Jack Daniels as well.
Yeah, all right. That works.
30-pack of Bud Light and a carton of Marlboro Red.
I have to say, though, I saw Kid Rock once. Foreigner opened for them. Bizarre show at PNC.
Foreigner opened for Kid Rock.
That should be the other way around.
Exactly. But no, it was Kid Rock doing the tour. Like, I give the guy credit. Like, he does these tours and makes the tickets for like dirt cheap because he wants a lot of people to show up at these things. And it was actually a really good show. I was very impressed at how good he was. I was expecting just kind of sampling and like nonsense. He's actually really talented. I was very surprised.
Oh, I never thought
I'm pretty sure he doesn't anymore, but he used to own a brewery in Michigan too.
Oh, is that right? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Let's put it this way. I had very low expectations going in with him. I knew what Foreigner was going to be. And I think their lead singer is fantastic. Kerry, what's his name?
No, they got a new one.
Lou Graham's not there anymore.
No. Right. Lou Graham crackers? No.
But a couple of years ago, they recut all of the Foreigner hits with the new guy's voice.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Right. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Kelly Hansen.
Kelly Hansen.
I look at Kid Rock as like the white Drake. Right? Because Kid Rock's supposed to be a redneck. Drake is supposed to be street. Yet they both grew up in mansions.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, okay. I equate the two.
Nice. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, works for me. All right. But anyway, to your point, Al, yes, that Icarus event was amazing. So kudos to Jay. Cheers to Jay Goldstein. That was awesome.
Cheers, Mr. Goldstein. I love this beer. Really love this beer.
Really good.
So, moral of the story. Write your legislators.
Write your legislators. We are going to, seriously, anybody watching this, rewatching this on either Facebook or YouTube.
Or listening on one of the
services that I will talk about in a minute.
Jesus, oh God, it's still more of it. Awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Finish it up. Anyway, write your legislators, write Governor Murphy. This has this something needs to be done.
Tag him on everything that you write
Everything.
about it.
Something
Everything.
needs to be done about this.
Flood
Tag him on
him.
Facebook and on Twitter and everything. Just
Let him feel the rage.
100%.
talk
Let
to
him know.
talk to your congressman.
Yeah, and listen, he may be in Lake Como in Italy, but he certainly gets the messages.
I
Let
wish
him
he was
know.
in Lake Como right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
That would have been easier. I would have went right over there right now and talked.
this is true.
And what would you do? Will Smith him?
I mean, why does he go to Lake Como in Italy when there's a Lake Como in New Jersey and he's the governor of New Jersey?
Because he has money. That's why.
That's right.
And he's got money from the restaurant lobby, and there's a lot of Italian restaurants in the restaurant lobby in Jersey. Not implying anything.
No,
not at all.
No.
not at all.
No, I'm not implying that there was any offers
There
that
were.
couldn't be refused.
Omerta.
Not a thing.
Anyway.
Yeah, the timing that he's going to Italy right after announcing all this,
It kind of stinks.
It's coincidental.
a little suspicious. Little bit of orange peel
Coincidental.
carved. and
But
put
you
in
know
your
what?
mouth.
Let's. I listen. In all honesty, I hope that there are some cooler heads that prevail. I hope there's some level-headedness. I know that a lot of the brewers are trying to contact the representatives or trying to contact the state
You think?
and try and get some. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
We're watching it.
Right. So let's hope that something happens here that's constructive. That and I know that the brewers themselves had given all of these different pieces of advice, or hey, you can do this, you can do that.
Well, yeah, they had a round table.
Right, and they ignored everything.
Everything. There wasn't
Everything.
anything that was talked about for the last 3 years.
They
Done.
need to fix this so Johnny and I can go back to being pissed off that Spite and Dival became an Amaro bar.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly.
Because right now we've completely forgotten about that.
We've forgotten about the restore the
whatever.
Bible.
Yeah, restore the Bible. We don't care about that right now.
We don't care
Right
about
now,
that
we
right
need
now.
to fix something closer to home for us.
Right.
This is important.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
So we need to work on this, and we will continue to work on this.
I think it's important to say, because we're sitting here, we're bitching about one of our favorite hobbies, lifestyles, craft beer. So yeah, this is what's happening in Jersey, worldwide. I think I'm speaking for all three of us, and I know I'm not wrong here. We're still just as outraged about what the Supreme Court's been doing lately.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think
Right?
so. Listen, I think from my perspective and how I looked at and I don't want this to become political by any stretch of the imagination. What they did with Roe versus Wade, I think, is completely wrong.
Yep.
I don't think they have any right to tell a woman what they can do with their body. I think I understand the reasoning behind why they struck it down.
Because it's states' right, not federal.
Right. And I think the argument from Roe v. Wade from a legal standpoint was flawed to begin with. So they're trying to put it on the states to say, look, you need to make your own laws. But this is something that can be solved.
I don't think it's just the states, though. I think they've put it on the federal government to
Right. That's
put
exactly
it
what I was
on
going
the
to say.
books. Right.
They're putting it on Congress to pass a law, which at this point will not happen because
Not
there's
now.
too much.
Yeah.
Vote.
Never. At this point, the way things are, and again, I don't want this to be a political thing either, but the way things are, no matter where you side, there's no way there's going to be any level ground to bring this to a Congress vote.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's gone.
It can, depending on what happens.
It could, sure, absolutely.
But
easily,
to Al's
it's not gonna happen.
point, I've explained to a lot of people what's going on here is Roe v. Wade was a decision on a court case. It was never actually a law. It needs to be a law.
Right.
And that's what's important here. It's what people need to keep in mind. You need to watch and you need to vote to get it there if this is what you believe.
Right. And that's why the people who are screaming at the Supreme Court shouldn't be blaming the Supreme Court.
Nope.
Their job is to interpret the law.
And
Their job is not to legislate law.
Right.
It's to interpret the law.
Right.
And if you want to be pissed at anybody, be pissed at when the Democrats owned both sides of Congress and the presidency. They rested on their laurels that Roe v. Wade was upheld and sanctioned by the Supreme Court. When they had the power and they had the authority, they should have made it law. They should have put it into law so it couldn't be overturned by the Supreme Court, because they're like you said, their job is to interpret the law, make it a law.
Right. Well, it's the same thinking when they overturned the law in New York about guns, about concealed carry.
Yes.
There's a law on the books constitutionally that allows people the right to own a weapon. That's what people don't seem to understand. That's a law. It's there. The
Yep.
Second Amendment is not going to get taken away anytime soon.
Nope.
It requires 2/3 to change it.
Despite all the fear mongering
Right.
that we're getting from the NRA lobby.
Right. It's not going to change. It's the same. First Amendment is free speech. Second Amendment is guns.
Yep.
Those two things are not going to change.
Right to bear
those
arms.
two
You
things
can
change,
bear arms.
guess
You
what?
can own a gun.
Right. But if those two things change, we are no longer the United States of America.
Nope.
And we're not a democracy, by the way. We're a republic. That's the other thing that people forget. We're a republic, not
we're supposed to be a republic, but we become a bipartisan oligarchy.
Right. And the other thing is that everybody's talking about abolishing the Electoral College. You know, Howard Stern was saying the other day he's going to run on this Electoral College platform. Okay, do that and abolish the Electoral College. Guess what's going to happen? 4 states are going to determine who's president.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have the most people in those states.
Yep.
New York,
California,
Texas, California, and
not
Florida.
Delaware.
Florida.
Oh
Delaware.
God! And do you want
Rhode
Florida?
Island.
Do you want Florida having a 25% vote in
No.
who our president is? No one wants Florida man to have that kind
Right.
of power.
And that's what people don't seem to get.
You know what?
It's not. Listen, it's not perfect. It's not. None of this is perfect. But
it's better than most of the country.
Exactly. That's what
most of the world. Most of the world. And I'll say one thing: my son serves our military in Italy, and
So he can talk to Murphy.
it's interesting.
Ah,
Yeah, I should get. He doesn't care.
that's a call.
There you go.
He doesn't drink.
At least they call when we're done.
My children don't drink. The one that's legal to drink doesn't drink. The other one,
Yeah, but you know he doesn't have to drink to make a call for you, does he?
Right.
I mean, come on.
But
Don't be angry
where
about
I was
that.
going with that. Oh no, I failed somewhere. Even though I can get my boys will always sing the backups to respect, and will always air drum.
I thought you were going to say
They will
sing the
always
back
air
to
drum.
respect.
They will always air drum the solo to in the
air tonight.
In the air tonight.
Hmm.
So I did something right as a parent.
He should
But-
air drum the solo to Tom Sawyer. That's what.
No, we're back to Rush. Thanks. But he serves our country in Aviano in the Air Force, and being in Italy as long as he has, and I stress anybody, please travel internationally, get to know the culture, get to know what they're up against, and you'll realize that as fucked up as we look at what we deal with here,
Right.
it's not nearly as bad as most, if not all, the other countries on the
The
planet.
countries, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Still better here. So
He has become. I've never seen him so damn patriotic that when he moved to Italy.
there you go.
So
That's
all right.
awesome. Well, thank him for his service.
Yes, thank him for his service. Thank your son for his service. Thank everybody for their service, especially after this past weekend.
That's right.
And
Yes.
all the way back to Memorial Day too. Thank all service members, men,
And
women,
and
everything
reminder,
across the board.
Memorial
Thank you for
Day.
service.
You don't thank people for the service who are still living on Memorial Day. Memorial Day is for those who lost their lives in service.
Right.
Armed Forces Day are those who are
Right.
are in the services now. Veterans Day, they're still alive,
Mm-hmm.
but they served.
Thank you for everybody globally.
Who's
Thank you
ever
for your
served in our
service.
military.
Who's ever served in our military. Thank you for your service. Thank 1/3 of Coastal Brew Works for their service.
Yes, that would be the silent partner,
James, yep,
Mr. Healy.
Mr. Hill.
He was a Marine. Well, there's no such thing as was a Marine.
He's a Marine. Once a Marine.
Always a Marine.
He's a Marine. He
Always
is a Marine.
He is a Marine.
There you go. So thank you for your service. Thank everybody for the service. And again, talk to your congressman, write your congressman,
Right.
write your
Right,
legislature,
your state legislators. That's right.
Right.
Right, the governor.
write the governor.
Tag the fuck out of Murphy.
Exactly.
All right, we got to get this. We got to get this fixed, and not just because a breweries
like to
need
drink
to
this
have
stuff.
an extra trivia night a year. We need to get this fixed because it's the right thing to do.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that John hosts trivia every now and then. It's not. No, that has nothing to do with it.
No.
Even before John opened Coastal Brew Works, even before he started doing trivia at River Horse every now and then, I can guarantee you he would have felt the same way.
Right. Exactly. No. Yeah. I mean, all the way back, even before. It's ridiculous, and everybody should feel the same way because it doesn't make sense.
And as long as
This is exactly what we were talking about before. This is an organization in government that is supposed to be governing one thing, governing another.
Yes.
Right.
and it's something that they have
Overreach.
nothing to do with.
Overreach. Absolutely.
Total overreach.
But I want to get back to the part where we're thanking people,
Mhm.
because I want to thank Al for coming on tonight.
Yes.
What, you got a 2-hour warning?
Yeah,
and a half.
something like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Something about because the guests we had planned did have other
He was tied up and he had to reschedule for September, actually.
not
so-
literally
Wow.
tied up.
No, he wasn't literally tied up.
But it actually
So,
worked in
That's
our
his
favor.
business.
Yeah.
This is-
Hey,
he might have been literally tied up. I don't know. He didn't
And-
explain. He didn't explain what
Yeah.
the problem was.
And Sylvester Graham may
He was
not
getting-
approve of him being
tied
tied
up.
up.
He was tied up. There you go.
Tied up.
That is one of the best stress balls I've ever seen.
Thank you.
But no, definitely thanks to Al, and frankly,
It worked out because we wanted
Yes.
to talk about this. So hop
because
on
we
this show.
really wanted to talk about this.
Anytime, boys.
And
Yeah.
and John gave me a list of people who we could talk to about this, and seriously, like, we should have Al on. See if he
Yeah,
can.
number one, boom, it was there, and I was
Yeah.
there too. But I'm like, you know what? Let me throw it to him. Let's make a decision. But I was there, and he, as soon as I said it, boom, done. So
He's like, yeah, it has to be Al.
You're welcome, guys. Appreciate it.
Because you're always on the pulse of things. You're always right at the forefront. You know what's going on. Every now and then, you tend to be very well spoken.
Thank you. No, every now and then.
It's
I'm
just
not drinking.
It's kind of
But
your
I'm not
job.
drinking.
you know what? I'll record him on Friday night later on, and we can both record him on Saturday later on. So we'll compare.
It's kind of his job.
Hey, John, what's the question? Why don't we steal away?
Oh, it's going to be a fun weekend.
It'll be
Oh,
good.
yeah.
It's gonna be a good
Yes,
weekend.
it is.
There you go. Anyway, all right. On that note, we'll wrap the show up for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m.
And I got to say, this is the closest we've come to 6:30.
There you go. It's
Very
close.
long time.
There you go. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to
God,
one or
that's an
more of those
impressive
feeds.
list. How the hell did you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, it works. You know, we
Who'd you
work
pay?
that. It doesn't matter. But if you're doing it 2 years, you little bit here and there, and you were good to go.
Okay, fine.
And for those of you who have done so already, please, for those of you that haven't done so already,
He's been
please
drinking.
subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Try and have as great a weekend as the three of us are going to have.
And drink New Jersey craft while we still have it.
Drink
Before
New
it all
Jersey
moves-
Craft,
before it all
write
moves
your
into
congressman,
Philly
write your
and New York.
legislature, write Governor Murphy, and do something about this. Seriously, we're going to post everything on the Log Room page on Facebook. Follow it all. Click the links, go for it, and
Oh my
write.
God, you know what? None of us have made a joke about his teeth tonight. Okay, anyway,
I was close.
I was really close a few times.
Well, you know what? Get him to do something, and I'm fine with it. I won't even say it again.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah.
Anyway, have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we'll talk to you soon, folks. Take care.
Peace,
Cheers.
everyone.
Yep.
Cheers.